good. What came out immediately from ICE, Border Patrol, and Kristi Noem, what they say on day one with their first statements, you find out that they were 100% accurate with their announcements on the situation. This guy Alex Pretti had this run-in with these Border Patrol ICE agents a few days before the final encounter. And I mean, not only is he in a rage, he's insane. He's completely insane. And he was known to the ICE agents in the final encounter because of this encounter. If they would have arrested him, and I guess they're not equipped to do so in these situations, he'd be alive today. But this guy was violent, insanely angry, insanely out of control, and doing things that no rational person would do. But the left, when these things happen, they always put these people up on a pedestal. And about these videos that we're seeing of Alex Pretti, you got to remember these videos were taken by the liberal lunatic anti-ICE protesters. The new video, like with the previous videos, the new video of Alex Pretti wasn't taken by Border Patrol, ICE, Homeland Security. It was taken by people in the activist lunatic fringe that are there recording everything. And he was a scary guy. If you were an ICE agent, a Border Patrol agent, you're involved in an arrest that's going to lead to the deportation of someone from the United States. You've got this mob around you, and then this guy, Alex Pretti, does what it is that he does. Woo. Now, before I play the video, this video has been analyzed by the BBC with facial recognition confirmation of his identity. And there was a story a few days ago that came out and exposed that the media had altered his appearance. And the immediate reaction was they altered his appearance to make him look more handsome than he actually was. And now I'm wondering if they altered his appearance in the media so facial recognition couldn't be used to find this incident. And who knows, there may be others. Now, I'm playing this for you now because I can't play it on the radio. And the reason I can't play it on the radio is, well, it's mostly a visual, right? So that doesn't work on the radio. But some of the language in the background is not safe for radio, right? Some of the language. So when I play this on the radio later, I'll have to play it with the sound muted, but I want to play it for you now before the radio show begins. If you're new, my name is Brian Craig. This is where MAGA comes to talk. Make sure you subscribe if you're new to my channel. And if you're already subscribed, please like the video and take the link, copy and paste the link to the program, to this episode, to your social media, so that your friends and followers can check me out. If you don't mind, I'd appreciate that. Okay, so here's the new video. Hear him yelling? I mean, this guy was completely out of control. Who kicks the taillights of law enforcement vehicles? Hear that anger? Wow, had a gun then too. Mm. What a nut. Very dangerous. Well, phones are often confused with guns, especially a guy that they had a prior run-in with who was visibly had a gun on in the first encounter. It was known to them. It's a war zone. All Pretti's doing. Wow. I mean, the guy, you know, I'm sorry the guy lost his life. I really am. I don't like to see anyone lose their life, right? You know, but this guy was so far out of control. I mean, here's Elizabeth Warren talking about him the other day. Now, of course, this is before the new video was released. I mean, this, you know, they're always trying to make someone some incredible. Now, here's another angle, and this is taken by a bystander. You see Pretti here. The previous video's behind him. This one is on his right side. You hear him? He's using the B word and all that language. I mean, and he's screaming at the top of his lungs. I mean, this guy, he's a monster. There he goes. When you hear how loud he kicked it. Hear how loud when he kicks it? He spits on him. I mean, and that's a lot of spit too. I mean, look at that. Yeah. So you know the narrative of the liberals is falling apart. Here's Anna Navarro talking about Alex Pretti. Of course, this is before the second video came out. Oh my. Yeah. You know, when these things happen, because, you know, in this day and age, we have access to more video and of things than we've ever had before, right? We're seeing things we normally would not see. You might hear about them. It might be written about. People might talk about them, you know. But these are not things you would normally see. And what happens real quick is these narratives that the liberals try to get going are always debunked because everyone has one of these with them everywhere they go, right? A phone, and everything's recorded, and we're seeing things we would never have seen before. And you get everything in a context that you were never given before. And, you know, it makes me wonder how much of our history is the same, right? You know, most history is written by liberals. The liberal college professors write most of the history books. So, you know, I got to wonder how much of American history, world history, is like this. Just complete liberal delusions of, you know, false messaging that they put around. I mean, you know, if this video did not come out, we heard about, oh, he had a confrontation, a rib was broken. But to see the video and to hear him is crazy. So I'm going to play for you again. And, you know, like I said, on the radio, I can't play it on the radio because it's almost 100%. It's about 98, 99% of visual, which doesn't work on the radio. And the little bit of audio you hear is the B word and the F word. But I'll rewind it again. If you're on hold, stand by. This is nuts. This is insane. And you hear the women in the background screaming. What a frightening situation for these Border Patrol and ICE officers, huh? I mean, you've got a lunatic mob. There he is on the left by the light post. Hear all the breaking of glass? Mm. Yeah, hear that? That's him yelling. Look at all the smoke. Yeah, the smoke is from ICE. Yeah, this is the news movement is responsible for that video, and it's great work that they did. So what do the left say to that? I mean, you know, and he was, you know, an important part about this is that Pretti was known to them during the second encounter, and he had the gun visible in the first encounter. Phones are often confused as guns in these high pressure situations with cops. That's a regular thing. So especially with someone who was known to them, and on top of this, he had been following them with these other anti-ICE lunatics during the whole process. So he was known to them, he was known to be violent, and he was known to be armed. All right, so here's the other video. Now this video is from a bystander from another angle. Wow. Whew. Who would want to be a cop today? Who would want to be ICE or Border Patrol today? It is so difficult, what you're dealing with. And, this, and I'll ask you guys this, a couple questions here. If you're on hold, stand by. I'm going to take the calls when the radio show begins in a few minutes. So if you're on hold, stand by, and I'll take the calls in the order in which they were received. If you'd like to call in, the number is pinned in the live chat. It's toll free, 888-465-2631. 888-465-2631. It's a toll-free call no matter where you are watching. If you're new, my name's Brian Craig. This is where MAGA comes to talk. And I host a live morning radio show, which will be starting in a few minutes. This is the pre-show. So we're just streaming here now on YouTube, and the radio show will begin in a few minutes. And I will take the calls when the radio show begins. A few things. Is Pretti in this video, is this a sane person? Or is he severely mentally ill and violent? You see the spitting and yeah, I mean he's angry, violent, and a mental patient, and he's got a gun. And they knew he had a gun here because in the previous video you could see it, and it was not concealed. If you can see it, it's not concealed. You have a concealed weapons permit, you have to keep it concealed. In the moment that it's not concealed in any way, shape, or form, you are in violation of the law. So he is committing multiple felonies here, including firearm felonies, because he's not just, I know Glenn Beck and some other, Second Amendment, you can, but he is committing felonies while he is armed. You could go to prison for years and years and years for what he is doing in this video and others. Now, again, as I said, I can't play the audio when the radio show begins, which is just a couple of minutes away because of the language. I mean, what a crazy man. What was, yeah. You really got to wonder if these, somebody like this, have they just been so gaslit and brainwashed by the left? Or are the liberals attracting mentally ill people to their cause? I don't know. All right, now the toll-free number to call in, it's pinned in the live chat, is 888-465-2631. 888-465-2631. Now this video of him kicking the taillight out on the ICE vehicle, in this instance, we have, right now we have two videos, different videos, taken from two different angles. This most recent one, we're 1 minute away till the radio show begins. The most recent one here is taken by one of the activists. The other one was taken by some media people that were embedded in the protest. And it's frightening to me that there were so many people in the nursing profession who were so severely mentally ill. We keep hearing about nurses, registered nurses, college graduates that are violent, want to hurt people that are conservative, Republican, MAGA. Never seen anything like this before. All right, we're 25 seconds away. So if you're on hold, hang in there. I will take the calls in the order in which they were received. All right, 20 seconds. Stand by. Tom Homan has a press conference after I get off the air today. So I guess we'll get an idea of what's going to happen in Minneapolis. Here we go, 5 seconds. Welcome to the program, everyone. My name is Brian Craig, and you are listening to the Steve Kane Radio Show, Florida's longest-running radio show on the radio since 1977, celebrating 49 years on the radio. Oh boy, has a lot happened since we last spoke. So a story came out yesterday that Alex Pretti, who was the anti-ICE guy who was shot over the weekend by the ICE agents in Minneapolis, that a few days, maybe a week before the final encounter, he had gotten into a confrontation with ICE agents that resulted in him getting a broken rib. This story came out yesterday, and people were talking about it. And then later in the day yesterday, in the afternoon, 2 videos came out of the incident from 2 different angles. One is from one of the anti-ICE lunatic activists, and the other was from a news organization that was embedded in with the protesters, and they filmed it. And this is new video that they came across in their footage. He is in a rage beyond belief, screaming as loud as a human can scream at these officers. He's spitting on the officers. And when I say spit, I mean, I've never seen so much spit come out of a man's mouth as came out of Pretti's mouth. The Border Patrol agents get in their Border Patrol SUV to drive away. He's still screaming. He comes up behind and uses his foot and breaks the passenger side tail light out of the SUV pretty hard. I mean, just totally broke the whole thing. And the Border Patrol car stops. They get out, and that's when the confrontation happened. In the video, you can see that he's got his gun on. It's visible during the struggle with ICE officers. So there's a lot to say about this. And if you're on hold, stand by. I want to hear your thoughts on this. If you've not seen the videos, they are on my X, Brian Craig Show on X. And if you go there, all my show prep, by the way, is on my X at Brian Craig Show every day. All the stories I talk about and all the stories I don't get to. But I have multiple videos of this on my X. I can't play it on the radio because 2 reasons. One, it's 99% visual, maybe a little more than 99% visual. And the only audio you can hear is Pretti dropping F-bombs and the B word. But if you want to see the video, if you've not seen it, it's on my X at Brian Craig Show. And please watch it. It's pretty disturbing. The guy is completely insane. But some conservatives, including Glenn Beck and Dana Loesch, who's with the NRA and all that, are talking about, well, Pretti had a Second Amendment right to have his gun at these political protests. That's part of the Second Amendment. You have a right to. Now, he was committing multiple felonies while armed, and he was breaking the concealed weapon permit laws. In the new video that came out yesterday, when he kicks out the taillight of the Border Patrol agents, you can see his gun. It's no longer concealed. And the way that concealed laws work is you have to keep it concealed. And it's pretty strict on that. By the way, once the weapon is not concealed, you've broken the law. And it's a big law. You can get arrested for it. Concealed can mean just seeing the outline of the gun through your shirt. But his gun is clearly visible on his belt in the first encounter about a week before the final incident. He is committing multiple felonies. He is spitting on federal agents, and then he kicks out their tail light. They get out to pick him up. He resists arrest from federal officers, and he's fighting with them. So he's resisting arrest. He's assaulting them, not just with the spitting, but physically, and he's armed. You go out and commit felonies, you get gun charges too if you've got a gun that's concealed. He is committing multiple felonies while he has his gun. That cancels out the permit. And this was the first encounter a day, maybe a week before the final incident, where you could see the gun, and they saw the gun when they were struggling with him. They did not arrest him. They dropped a bunch of smoke around, got in the car, and drove off and got out of Dodge. Things were really escalating. If they would have arrested him, Pretti would be alive today. We may never have heard of him, or maybe we would have heard about the arrest, but they didn't arrest him. So when the second encounter happened over the weekend, they knew who he was. Not just because of this encounter. He's obviously one of the leaders of the anti-ICE movement, as you see him front and center in all of the videos at different instances. And during the entire anti-ICE Minneapolis protest operation, he's been following them around. Plus, he had this violent encounter with them the week before. So during the second encounter over the weekend, they knew who he was, and they knew he was armed from the beginning because they had this previous encounter with him. So they knew he had a gun. Now, it's been reported that officers thought he had a gun during the final encounter over the weekend, but it was his cell phone. Cell phones it is very common for phones to be confused for guns by law enforcement. This has been going on since people have had smartphones. Really. I mean, you know, Steve Jobs did a great job with the iPhone, but iPhones have gotten a lot of people killed, and Android phones too, because police mistake them for guns, especially when they're involved with someone who is known to them and was armed during their last violent encounter with them, like Pretti. So this is not Mr. Goody Two-Shoes, and this new video has been verified by the BBC using facial recognition technology. Now, another thing I want to point out is, I don't know, 2 or 3 days ago, this was crazy. The left got exposed. They had altered through Photoshop or AI, they had altered the image of Pretti, right? Remember they had him in the scrubs, you know, a hardworking nurse? They altered his face. And when that first happened, people thought, oh, they're trying to make him look more handsome. Now I'm starting to think they altered his face so that he wouldn't be recognized in other videos like the one that came out yesterday afternoon to confuse the facial recognition technology. But this has been verified by the BBC, which is liberal. So again, verified by a liberal news source, liberals, using facial recognition technology, that it was Pretti in the first encounter. Now, it is very sad that this guy lost his life. I don't like to see anyone lose their life. But when you watch the first video, he is a violent, angry to the infinity degree, very violent man who is insane when you see the video. Completely insane. And frankly, I find it terrifying. And he's surrounded by lunatics as well. And the ICE agents didn't arrest him for whatever reason, probably because things were getting so violent and out of hand at the original scene. All right, we're going to take our first break. After the break, we're going to go to the calls. There's 2 openings on the board. The number is 888-465-2631. 888-465-2631. Sloman's Home Security is offering a free home security system with free professional installation and 24/7 Central Station monitoring, all for only $24.95 a month for 5 years. What a great deal. All you got to do is pick up your phone and call, no matter where you're located, 833 833-283-5050. It's a free home security system and professional installation. It is absolutely free. Your Slomin's home security system includes a touchscreen keypad, 3 door or window sensors, a motion detector, notifications, and remote keypad access so you can check in no matter where you are. Pick up the phone right now, no matter where you're located. Give Slomin's a call, 833-283-5050. 833-283-5050. That's 833-283-5050. Our number is 888-465-2631. We'll be back right after this. All right, so during the break, let me pull up the original video. Hold on, let me pull it up here. I mean, this is the video. I mean, look at this. That's Pretti. I mean, and you see when he spits at them, look at how much spit comes out of his mouth. Look at that. It's a gallon. And then boom. Look, he kicks the car, then he kicks it again, and then look at the tail light. What are they supposed to do? So when they have this second encounter, and he's known to them, and you can see that he is armed, right? You can see that he's armed in this video. What were they supposed to do? I think they acted with, we're going to be back in just over a minute. I think they acted with incredible restraint until he escalated things. And he kept escalating, even after this incident. And they can see that he's armed. His gun is visible in this encounter. 1 minute and we'll be back. His gun is visible in this first encounter, days, maybe a week before the final incident. How do you justify that? There's no way to justify that. There's just no way. There's no way to justify it. And you know what, you guys, you liberals know it. I mean, look at this. All right, 25 seconds and we'll be back. The number's pinned in the live chat, 888-465-2631. Stand by. All right, we're back. I'm Brian Craig. It's the Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest running radio show. I'm going to go to the phones. There's one opening on the board at 888-465-2631. 888-465-2631. You know, we're talking about this new video of Pretti in Minneapolis. Very violent, insane video has been released. A disclaimer to the calls. Watch your language and be responsible with your comments. All right? Let's go. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Yeah, good morning.
Yeah, Richard.
27 degrees here on Saturday morning.
Oh my goodness.
28 on Sunday.
You're in where you at, Hope Sound?
No, in Sebastian.
Sebastian. I always forget.
And
Sebastian. Yeah, you know, I was going to go to Kennedy Space Center this weekend to see the Artemis 2 moon rocket on the line. It's going to be in the 20s. Forget about it. I don't even have clothes for that.
Yeah.
I don't know clothes.
27. Yeah, I'm going to be listening to the Brian Craig Show 24 hours. I'm not leaving the house.
Don't leave the house. Just watch me.
Listen.
Binge.
That's it. The best show on the radio.
Yes.
And on television.
Yes.
Here's the deal. Okay. The woman, the first one that was killed, shot by the good. She just was dropping off her child, and then she just got shot for nothing.
Well, of course, Richie. That's what all these people have done. They just raise this, and this guy was just a VA nurse helping veterans like you.
Yeah, well, hold it. This guy he was shot on Saturday morning and killed. Saturday afternoon, automatically, he was a wonderful person. He was killed for nothing. Sunday, his parents chimed in. All he wanted to do was help people. That's why he was helping the young lady that got pepper sprayed. Monday, the same crap. Tuesday, the same crap. Wednesday, we find out what he really is. And he was on that single chat, and he was an activist and an obstructionist. And not just that, his wife divorced him, I think 11 months ago, because she said he was an extremist.
Yeah.
She divorced him, and he quit the VA. He hasn't worked there in 8 months.
Yeah, and I read one report. I read two versions. Some say he quit, others say he was terminated. I don't know. My assumption is his wife was liberal too, and he was too far left for even her.
He was a nut job, total nut job,
and violent.
And he was like what you see, violent. What you see there, and then on top of all that, they doubled down Fry yesterday, Mayor. He says he's not gonna use his resources. After talking to President Trump, he backtracked the next morning and he backstabbed Trump. And then last night, Omar had her press conference with Presley and all the rest of them, calling Trump. They said that he had dementia. He was a racist. They were going after black and brown people. And they're not going to stand for it.
Yeah.
I'm telling you this, and this is as far as I see. Tom Homan and no Tom Homan, this is going to get worse. These people are doubling down and tripling down. They refuse to cooperate, and it's going to get worse.
Well, later this morning when I'm off the air, Tom Homan has a press conference, and maybe we'll get some insight on what's going to happen in Minneapolis moving forward.
Oh, yeah, the state police will help Homan, but inside the city of Minneapolis, where there's no jurisdiction for the state police, only if they're called in by the city, by the mayor.
Well, hold on a second here. That's true and not true. State police do have authority on state property, which includes state roads.
Yeah,
like here in Florida.
Right,
okay,
right.
Like here in Florida, you'll see the Florida Highway Patrol on 441, State Road 7.
Yeah.
Okay, so they could cordon off roads when they're doing things, but they do have jurisdiction on state roads.
Well, the governor even says he wants ICE out of there. He still insists he wants them out.
We all want ICE out of there, but they gotta finish their job.
They don't want them to finish their job.
Trump wants them out of there too.
Brian, not for nothing. I think, and by the way, your show yesterday was excellent.
Thank you.
And a body expert, by the way, said that Omar. I don't want to jump to this. That Omar's reaction time after she got squirted was faster than he's ever seen in over 20 years in his career. And he says that's impossible. Even President Trump, when he got shot in the ear, you saw he hesitated and touched his ear like, what's going on?
That's
the
right.
human mind does not. She just attacked this guy immediately. The guy said this was staged, and this was a body expert.
Well, if you notice, Ilhan Omar made a mistake yesterday, and that was her press conference, because that story had already been taken out of the news cycle because the media knew it was staged, and the story was disappearing, and then she stirred the pot with her race card press conference.
Yeah, that whole thing. You see what was in back of him? I mean, not that Somali guy that was in back of him was one of the guys involved in the fraud.
Mm-hmm.
But
I want to stick on this new video with Pretti. See, this new video with Pretti that happened a few days before the final incident that was incredibly violent.
11 days.
Yeah, incredibly violent.
Yeah.
His gun is visible in the struggle. Okay, and that means he had violated the law. He's guilty of weapons charges there, because if your concealed weapon is visible, it's no longer concealed. You're breaking the law, And that means that is brandishing your weapon in the commission of another felony, which is assault on federal officers, vandalizing the federal vehicle. I mean, there's so many. This guy, in that first stop, the week before, he committed so many felonies just in that one instance, Richie.
Yeah, I'm going to say something to you.
Hold your thought, because my phones are ringing off the hook. Yeah, go ahead. Not for nothing, but. Oh, hold on a second here. All right, yeah, go finish up, Richie. Oh, I lost Richie. That's okay. The rest of you on hold, stand by. I do want to keep the conversation to Pretti and the latest updates with that, guys. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Oh, yeah, right. And, Tom Homan, that's going to be something good. That's going to be really great.
Oh, I can't wait for that.
You know,
what's your name? Where are you calling from?
Jake from Pompano.
Jake in Pompano. Okay.
You know, Tom Homan's going to be on at 8 a.m. this morning. That's going to be a rock and roll right there. He's going to kick some butt.
No, it's going to be. It's going to be. Actually, no. It's going to be at 9 a.m. Our time. 9 a.m. Eastern time.
All right,
9 a.m. No, believe me, I went and checked. It's after I go off the air. They're in a different time zone in Minneapolis. They're an hour behind us in Minneapolis. It's 9 a.m. Eastern.
Yeah, awesome. They want to turn it up. They're going to get it turned up, and they're already comparing all the other cities that are running smooth as silk.
I want to disagree with you. Tom Homan doesn't want to turn it up. He wants to turn it down and get the job done. Tom Homan and President Trump want ICE and Border Patrol out of Minneapolis too when they're done.
Yeah. Yeah, they want to burn that city down. Let them burn it down.
Why? It's an American city. Why do you want to raise an American city? Not everybody there is out there spitting on ICE. Yeah, but people from all the surrounding areas won't be affected. All the rural people aren't going to be affected. Let them burn the downtown area down, like Baltimore I disagree with that. All right, let's go. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Oh, it's Jake Penfield. I'm calling from Greer, South Carolina.
All right, Jake. Get ready, Mike.
How you doing, sir? Good morning. It's good to talk to you, and I love your show. Yeah, this guy was out looking for problems, man.
Yes, on that we will agree. Okay, if you're on hold, stand by. Do you or someone you know have neuropathy? Then you want to call Lighthouse Medical. Lighthouse Medical, they're located in Pompano. They rid Steve Kane of his neuropathy, but they can help you no matter where you're located in the United States. Even if you're local and you can't make it into the office, they can still help you remotely. Rid you of neuropathy like they did with Steve Kane. They understand at Lighthouse Medical that if you're suffering from neuropathy, it's probably tough for you to get out of the house. The numbness, the pain, the burning, the tingling in the hands and feet, the muscle weakness, the dizziness, the falling down all the time, the muscle twitching, the feeling of pins and needles in the hands and feet, no feeling at all. It makes life unbearable. Lighthouse Medical has a treatment for neuropathy that works and a treatment that lasts. Steve had his treatment over 3.5 years ago now, and his neuropathy has not returned. He saw immediate relief after the very first treatment. Give them a call. Make sure you mention you heard about them on the program here so you can take advantage of their no-charge consultation. 754-222-6642. 754-222-6642. And online, lighthousemedicalcenter.com. Back after this. All right, and we are less than a minute from coming back. If you're on hold, stand by. We're in radio break still, and I'll go to the calls when we're back from the radio break. The number is toll free and pinned in the live chat, 888-465-2631. 888-465-2631. If you're new, make sure you subscribe. And if those of you that are already subscribed could take the link and share on your social media, that would be amazing, and it would help out a lot. And invite your friends and followers to check out the program. Oh, man. Let me tell you, the liberals. All right, 8 seconds. Welcome back, everyone. I'm Brian Craig. It is the Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest running radio show. And wow, it's already Thursday morning, a very chilly Thursday morning here in South Florida. All right, I'm going to go back to the calls. Our number, 888-465-2631. Oh, okay, you're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hi, good morning, Brian. This is Norm from upstate New York.
Hey, what's up?
It's -6 degrees up here right now.
Yeah, well, you know, I live in the tropics, sunny South Florida, paradise. We're not used to this weather. We're gonna, in fact, Saturday, we're gonna have our coldest day in 15 years in South Florida. So much for global warming and climate change.
Once it gets above 32 degrees, I'm thrilled. I walked a mile and a half yesterday. I'm going to walk a mile and a half today. That way I get to eat ice cream.
Oh my goodness.
So this guy Pretti, he obviously went to cause trouble. If he wasn't going to cause trouble this time around, he was obviously going to cause trouble for himself another time around. And obviously he was breaking the law by not bringing identification. He was doing a lot of other things that we obviously know what his intentions were. But Chris, I'm coming out and saying that I don't know anybody that's bringing a loaded firearm to a peaceful protest. And then Kash Patel doubling down on that just makes me think that these people aren't Second Amendment people, that they're really posers. And I don't understand why they got to do this.
How is it against the Second Amendment to not support Pretti with the gun that he had? How is that anti-Second Amendment?
I'm not saying that. I'm saying Kash Patel saying that you don't bring a loaded firearm to a peaceful protest. If you do it, you got to do it legally. You got to do it peacefully. You got to do it with your proper identification.
Listen, Legally, you have the right to do lots of things. It doesn't mean you should do it or it's smart. Are you married?
No.
You're not married. Well, if legally, a married man can go and have sex with other women. It's not against the law. Now, it's a civil case with your wife when she sues you for divorce. But just because you have the right to do something doesn't mean you should do it. I give you an example. Burning the American flag. You have a right to burn the American flag, but is it a smart thing to do?
I mean, I personally wouldn't go to one of these events with a firearm, like trying to see how much trouble I could stay out of. I wouldn't personally do it. I mean, I used to sell firearms for Dick's Sporting Goods. I'm not really a big firearms guy. I much rather do archery.
I am a strong Second Amendment supporter, but there's some things that, I give you an example, okay? Kyle Rittenhouse, who was in the right. I mean, he was defending his life. Those people were trying to kill him, okay? But was it smart?
Yeah, he went there to cause trouble.
But was it smart for him to bring the gun to that protest?
No, I think in a way he was looking for trouble, and trouble found him.
Maybe.
The same way that trouble found this guy Pretti.
Maybe, but but Kyle Rittenhouse was within his Second Amendment rights, and he was also within his rights when he defended his life. But it just because you have a legal right to do something doesn't mean you should do it. Always.
I just that the way that they're wording it is making it not only the Democrats go crazy, but then it's also giving infighting on the side of the Republicans.
Only by
saying,
stupid
well,
people.
wait a second.
Only by stupid, pathetic people. You know, Glenn.
So you're saying that I'm stupid if I go to a protest peacefully with a loaded firearm,
Yes.
so that if some nut job tries to come after me, I
Yes.
can blast them.
I'll give you an example.
So
I'll give you an example. I've been telling people not to go to anti-ICE protests in their neighborhoods. They've been going on all over the country.
Yeah, I think it's a great idea.
Okay. And
I think it's a great idea.
there was one a couple weeks down the street from my house. Okay, I didn't go to it. You know, so I have a right to go. But if I went down to an anti-ICE protest with my Make America Great Again hat on or my Trump 2028 hat on, I certainly have a First Amendment right to do that. But is it smart to do that?
I totally agree with that.
Well, okay,
there's
now hold on a
saying that
second.
goes with that.
So if I were to wear my Make America Great Again hat to the anti-ICE protest, why would it not be a good idea to do that?
Because those people are they're unhinged. You know,
Correct.
They're looking to cause trouble.
Listen, you have a right to do things. You could go to work today and go tell your boss to go F himself, right? But there's you have a First Amendment right to do that, but there's a consequence. Just because you have a right to do something doesn't mean it's smart to do. And taking guns to political protest is not a smart thing. I don't care who does it. I don't care if it's a black MAGA guy who carries his rifle and, oh yeah, I'm a black Republican, I got my rifle. It's not smart. Because you can trigger things. You can set things into motion.
I think if they had said what you just said, we wouldn't be having this conversation.
Well, who are you talking about in particular?
Krispy Noem said that I don't know anybody that ever brings a firearm to a peaceful protest, and then Kash Patel doubled down on it.
Whatever. You're reading too much into what they said.
I totally agree with you, though. I mean, I totally agree with what you're saying. There's a saying that goes with it. It says, there are no victims, only volunteers. So that's what they've done to themselves. So we're on the same page there. It's just that they could word this a lot better, and then we wouldn't have the problems.
Here in Florida, we now have open carry, and we've had open carry for a few months. And I have not open carried once. And
that's a smart idea.
And the reason I haven't, why is it smart for me not to open carry, even though I got the right to do so? You said it's not smart to do it.
Well, you're giving somebody the opportunity to pull your gun away from you and possibly use it on you.
No. The reason they're not going to take my gun. I'll tell you that. From my cold dead hands.
Well,
but no way. If somebody's going for my gun,
I'm a big guy, so
no, you would not get my gun. Believe me.
I can tell you, I can take someone off the ground, and your gravity is no longer an advantage.
You would not get my gun. Believe me, I know how to handle myself. But we're never going to find out. But that's not why. The reason I haven't open carried, and I've been looking forward to open carry my whole life, and we finally got it. I haven't seen anybody do it yet. I thought everyone was going to be open carrying in Florida. No one's doing it. And the reason I don't do it is because no one else is. So the general public aren't aware of the law. And if I were to open carry my gun, someone's going to call the cops because they don't know.
Okay.
And then I'm going to have to deal with that
makes
aggravation.
Sense.
So I'll open carry, and I'm visiting some friends in Key West in next month, right? I'm going to take my gun then because it's a road trip, But I may, but I don't open carry because I don't want to. Because people don't know it's legal. I don't want to deal with the hassle of it right now. There's consequences to your actions. You don't bring guns to political protest if you're smart. If you bring guns to political protest, you're stupid.
I totally agree.
You're trying to push the buttons of liberals and cause an incident.
I totally agree with you. When I say if I'm saying goodbye to somebody, I say to them, "Be safe, be smart."
All right. Hey, listen, I appreciate the call. Call me again sometime. Take care. And it's not and this MAGA divide that they're trying to get going over the Second Amendment. Dana Loesch has to say it. She's like spokesperson for the NRA. All right. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling? Oh, hold on. Let me answer all the lines that are coming in. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Mike from Coral Springs.
Hey, Mike.
Hey, good morning. Listen, I don't understand how this has been allowed. All these anarchists, I don't know what word I can use on the radio.
Well, but you know what words you can. I mean, come on. You cannot use profanity. Okay. So
scum.
Scum. Okay, that works. You can use scum.
Okay. How has it been gotten this far that they're allowed to get so close to these agents? I don't understand it. Why didn't they come down really hard?
Because because ICE and Border Patrol are not about crowd and riot control on the streets of America. They're not trained for that, and the local police who were supposed to give them backup were not giving them backup. That's how it happened. If you're in Coral Springs, if ICE were doing raids in Coral Springs PD would give backup, right? They're the ones who responded to Marjorie Stoneman Douglas out of their jurisdiction when that coward lady captain from the Broward Sheriff's Office ordered everyone not to go in because she was a coward, Right. But they had no backup and they were outnumbered, and they're not trained in doing that.
Yeah, but how many times do all these people have to get so close to them? All right, so first time you send 10 guys in and they get beat up or attacked. Next time you send in 50, and 25 of them are just for crowd control. It's not difficult to start smacking people over the head when they start attacking you.
Okay. Well, Tom Homan's in charge now, so we're going to see a different in tactics.
Yeah, all right. All right, man. And you say that you're sorry to hear that this guy passed away. Personally, I think life in this society is not a right. There are certain caveats that need to be,
No, I don't want to see, I don't want to see anyone lose their life. This guy was a mental patient. He should have been institutionalized. I bet his parents feel a lot of responsibility. A lot of responsibility.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
All right, take care. All right, let's go. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hey, Brian. It's Jocelyn out of California.
Hey, what's up, California?
You know what's so upsetting is at the core of this issue, the reason why this happened is because Minnesota's leadership failed to do their job.
Exactly. And not only did they fail to, you're so right on, not only did Minnesota leadership fail to do their job, they're openly taking the side of people like Pretti that are attacking ICE officers.
And it's not just him. It's child predators, it's murderers, it's people that go around assaulting people. The fact of the matter is that remember how he was the perfect person and that you wanted this person as your son or to marry your daughter?
Yes.
And then when this first came out, I think I mentioned to you, just wait. There's going to be more information that comes out about this person. First of all, he was not a practicing nurse. He ended up either being fired or quitting his job months ago, probably over behavioral issues. His wife ended up leaving and had to move to another state because of behavioral issues.
Well, I wonder if there was violence in that marriage. I
wouldn't doubt it, but the fact of the matter is that they would have arrested. You remember 11 days ago or so when you saw him kicking in that car?
Yeah.
What in the world allows somebody to think that they could get away with it? It's because they were being onslaughted and it was a mob mentality. Mm-hmm. They couldn't even actually arrest the guy because they were in a situation where they were outnumbered. You've seen that so many times. If they would have been able to actually take him into custody and have them arrested, he would have lost his privilege to carry that gun.
Exactly.
Because he was committing felonies.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And
he was committing firearm felonies too because his weapon was not concealed and he was carrying a weapon while he was committing other felonies. I mean, this guy, he could have gone to prison for years for what he did.
In Minnesota, you're not allowed to actually you're not allowed to have a concealed firearm at a protest. It's in their law. That's their state
Listen,
law.
I got to run for the break, but you make some good points. All right, thanks for the call. If you're on hold, stand by. Big announcement from the next governor of Minnesota, Mike Lindell. The second annual mega sale is going on at MyPillow.com. The Giza Cotton Dream Sheet with our promo code KANE, of course, KANE, at checkout at MyPillow.com. The Giza Dream Sheets as low as $29.98. The MyPillow 6-piece towel set, just $39.98. The MyPillow $17.98. Mattresses and the mattress toppers as low as $99.98. I have all those products. Huge savings with our promo code KANE at checkout. Do your Christmas shopping. Sorry, guys. We were doing Christmas for so long. Do your Valentine's Day shopping at MyPillow.com during the second annual mega sale. Huge savings for Valentine's Day with the promo code KANE, KANE, at checkout at MyPillow.com. You can also order by phone toll-free, 1-800-716-4879. 1-800-716-4879. Promo code KANE, KANE. We'll be right back. All right, if you're on hold, guys, stand by. We're going to take our break and be back with your call shortly. All right, less than a minute and we'll be back. We're still in radio break. If you're on hold, stand by. The number is toll-free no matter where you're watching, and it's pinned in the live chat, 888-465-2631. All opinions are welcome, but no profanity. Be respectful. 888-465-2631. We have 30 seconds. This is, till we're back on the radio. This is the video from one of the protesters of the attack. I mean, look at this guy. I mean, he really, you know, you got to wonder, is this how he wanted it to end? Right? You got to wonder. If you're on hold, stand by. We're back. I'm Brian. It's Thursday morning. This is the Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest running radio show. Callers on hold, stand by. We'll go to the phone shortly. You know, this new video that we're talking about today of Pretti, about 10, 11 days before the final run-in. Very violent. This is the one where he got his rib broken. And you got to wonder, did this end the way Pretti wanted it to end? And what I mean by that is, this was a guy who, he had lost his wife, he had lost his job. He was doing insane things. Is this what he wanted to happen? All right, let's go to the phones. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Jay, Arizona.
Jay in Arizona. What's on your mind, Jay?
Doug, I'll be honest. I'm not hearing a lot of consistency from you or some of these callers.
Okay.
I mean, if everything you're saying in the last 30 minutes, by those metrics, everybody in January 6th was a criminal.
No, nobody brought guns. Nobody had guns there, except the police.
Yes. Ashley Babbitt.
She did not have a gun. She did not have a gun. Ashley Babbitt was unarmed. Ashley Babbitt was unarmed. She was unarmed.
Doesn't matter. She was doing something. She was aggravating security officers.
What a stretch.
Crossing a line.
What a pathetic stretch.
They were pointing guns at her.
I thought people in Arizona were smarter than this.
I'm a carry. I carry a gun.
I know. All the liberals are gun owners now. They carry all. I know. It's amazing.
Anybody who disagrees with you is not a liberal, bro.
Oh, what are you then?
I'm an independent.
Oh, an independently liberal. Yeah.
I
Okay.
voted for John McCain.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness.
Not the second time.
Yeah, and one of his senior campaign people is one of the anchors in the afternoon on MS Now. So that
I'm just telling you, I'm not a liberal.
you voted for John McCain. That's your claim of not being a liberal. The liberals were begging us to nominate John McCain for years. Ashley Babbitt did not have a gun. If Ashley Babbitt, excuse me, stop, excuse me. Hey, listen, I want to apologize to you for speaking while you're interrupting, okay? I apologize for that. The January 6th people were not armed, including Ashley Babbitt. They did not have weapons. They did not have guns. Hello? They fly. It is true. It is true.
The people inside the building, correct. There were people outside the building.
Nope. No one had guns. No one had guns. No one was arrested with a gun. No one had a gun except the cops.
Brian, okay, I'll ask this question. The people that were hitting police officers, should they be in jail or not?
If you hit a police officer, yeah, a lot of them went to jail. We're not talking about January 6th. We talk about the news, and the first news is new. You're talking about something from over 6 years ago.
Pretti was a legal gun owner. By the way, you and someone else that called said because he got divorced, he must have been a problem. Trump has been divorced 3 times.
That's not what I said. This guy, no, excuse me. I didn't say that. Are you okay? Because you seem to have a comprehension problem. This is what I said.
Brian,
this guy
you just pointed it out to the lady that just called in.
This guy here, this guy here, his wife left him, and he lost his job. And he's running around like an idiot assaulting federal agents while he has a gun on him.
Left him. Ivanka Trump left Donald Trump because he cheated on him. Does that make him a criminal?
Donald Trump didn't lose, he lost his wife, but he didn't lose his job, and he wasn't walking around with a gun attacking cops like Pretti.
We don't know why he left this job. You're assuming why he left this job. You don't know why.
There's been a lot of reporting that he was fired.
There's been a lot of reporting.
So explain to me why you're defending a guy. Why are you defending a guy that spit on cops and took a gun while he was committing multiple felonies? Why are you defending this guy?
Okay, why? Okay, we'll switch subjects because I can tell you're just going to switch.
Well, I'm not here to talk about January 6th. That was over 6 years ago.
But my point is that if you're protesting,
and here's another thing. Here's another thing. You'll probably deny this too, but you're black, right? You're a black man, right? You're black, correct?
It was a political protest.
You're black, correct? African American?
Yes.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely.
So even if what you said was true about January 6th, that doesn't apply to all MAGA people any more than you're responsible for what all black people do. All right. Appreciate the call. Everything to these people is January 6th. January 6th. All right. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Good morning, Conservative Doug.
Hey, Doug.
You know, I'm thinking that this Alex Pretti guy, a violent wacko, who brings a gun to a protest and gets an altercation with police and unfortunately loses his life. Okay, but what does that have to do with Kristi Noem? I mean, to see that 2 Republican senators that I saw so far saying that she should resign is really making me sick. You know, Republicans just don't get it. I can't remember ever hearing a Democrat say anything about anybody on the president's team when there's a Democrat in office saying anything negative about it. These Republicans are just,
isn't it amazing how many, since this Alex Pretti incident happened over the weekend, I'm hearing from all of these liberal guys, all of them are gun owners, and all of them carry their weapons all the time. They're all concealed carry permit holders. They all own guns.
Yeah.
I mean, come on. All of a sudden, I haven't talked to a liberal that's not a concealed weapon permit holder since Saturday when this happened. The last time I've seen the liberals pull some garbage like this is when John McCain was running, or not John McCain, John Kerry was running for president. Then all of a sudden, every liberal that called the show was a veteran that served in combat. You know, I mean, this group think, it's just so bizarre.
Most of the liberals I know are totally against guns, and
they're terrified of guns. Yeah. And they're always advocating against them, but now they're all lifetime NRA members and everything else.
Yeah, man, it's just the sick people in this world, and the Democrats and now Republicans have to join. Which really makes me sick. That a Republican has to go join the liberals and say, "Oh, she should resign. She's doing a great job. Why should she resign?"
Kristi Noem has overseen the largest deportation in the history of the United States, and she secured our southern border. She has performed above and beyond. I'm sorry that there's some nutbags in Minneapolis, you know, that's causing some problems. But what she has done nationwide is miraculous.
Yeah, exactly. She's doing a great job. Everybody, they're taking, what is it, millions of people are being deported already. And so if there's one cop that did something wrong, that's what the cop did something wrong. It's just like any police force.
And look at how all these liberals, like that guy from New York, Fake MAGA, called me earlier. All these liberals, not only are they concealed weapon permit holders, they carry guns with extra ammo everywhere they go. They're also major advocates for the Second Amendment, to bring guns to political protests, which is one of the dumbest things you could do, is to bring a gun to a political protest. I know people do it, but it's not smart. You're trying to trigger people when you do that, and you don't want to trigger people with your gun.
Yeah, I mean, it's like going to a liberal meeting with a MAGA hat on. You know, you're looking for trouble. You know, I wear my MAGA hat out all the time, and I'm figuring that nobody's going to go on to have a problem with it. You know, but I wouldn't go to a protest.
All right, Doug. We'll talk again. Take care. All right, we got time for another. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from? You're on the air.
This is David from Missouri.
David in Missouri. What's on your mind, David?
Yeah, I'm sorry. I haven't watched the whole show today, but did you see the video of the unhinged nurse a couple of days ago on X?
Which one? There's been several. The one in Florida?
Well, she was talking about getting a syringe and filling it with saline.
Oh yeah, I saw that one. Yeah, we don't need to give the detail. Yeah, there's been two nurses. There was one nurse who was talking about poisoning ice agents, and then there was another nurse, actually from the hospital in my neighborhood here in Florida, that I've gone to with my family on multiple occasions. My wife and daughter. She was wishing death on Caroline Leavitt during childbirth. Yeah, and this guy Pretti's a nurse. We've got a problem with America's nurses. They're like nurses from Auschwitz. I mean, they're like Mengele nurses.
We just got to do better on our optics. These guys will say anything, and their base will eat it up.
Oh yeah, that's true. That's true. All right, I appreciate the call. Take care. By the way, that nurse here in Florida, the Surgeon General of Florida took away her nursing license. Yeah, I mean, it was scary. You know, even after she got busted, she was like quadrupling down on her bizarre comments. I want to talk about Friendly Tire in Margate. You know, at Friendly Tire, you can get new tires out the door and on the road for as low as $75 a tire. And that's on common sizes on some of the most popular vehicles on the road today. And when I say out the door and on the road, what I mean by that is Friendly Tire doesn't charge you to balance the tire, mount the tire, or dispose of your old tire. I've been a customer of Friendly Tire in Margate for maybe 20 years by now. All the cars in my family and even my extended family are on the road on Friendly Tire tires. I'm going to give you Friendly Mike's number. He also has good used tires in stock for as low as $35 a tire, and he does tire repairs. Give Friendly Mike at Friendly Tire a call. He'll give you a quote right over the phone. We have listeners that drive over an hour each way because the prices are so low. 954-977-9445. 954-977-9445. That's 954-977-9445 for Friendly Tire in Margate. All right, we'll take our break for the top of the hour, come back with more. I got other stories to cover and your calls after this break. All righty. All right, stand by, guys. We'll be back shortly. All right, we'll be back shortly, guys. We're still in radio break for about just over a minute, a little more than a minute, and we will be back. If you're on hold, hang in there. I got some things I'm going to get into that I haven't shared yet after the top of the hour. And, of course, the number is 888-465-2631, 888-465-2631. It's a toll-free call, no matter where you are listening. All right, I'm going to share that. Hold on. There was another story I want. Less than a minute. Where is that story? Oh, yes. All right, stand by. Welcome back, everyone. I'm Brian Craig. You're listening to the Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest-running radio show. If you're on hold, don't go anywhere. If you'd like to call in, the number's toll-free, 888-465-2631, 888-465-2631. You know, we got some really cool news out of Palm Beach yesterday. You know, Southern Boulevard in West Palm has been renamed Donald J. Trump Boulevard from the airport to Mar-a-Lago. Southern Boulevard, for those that aren't familiar with Palm Beach, it's a direct drive. When the president goes to or from Mar-a-Lago and Air Force One, he drives down the road formerly known as Southern Boulevard. It's been renamed Donald J. Trump Boulevard. That happened last year, and they just had the ceremony about a week and a half ago. Well, legislation has been passed, and it's up to the legislature and the governor. They want to rename Palm Beach International Airport to Donald J. Trump International Airport. I'm so excited about that. Donald J. Trump International Airport. I like that better than Palm Beach International. Don't you guys? That is so amazing. And that will go through, because if the state legislature and the governor don't allow that, they're going to be in big trouble. People want that, and that story is growing and growing. People are very excited. I'm excited. I usually fly out of Fort Lauderdale. I'm about, I'm in the middle of both airports, kind of, and I usually fly out of Fort Lauderdale. And when I don't fly that much, but when I do fly, I usually fly out of Fort Lauderdale because the flight times have just always been more convenient. But I will inconvenience myself to fly out of Donald John Trump International Airport just so I can get like the luggage tags and all the tickets and stuff that say, I guess it'll be DJT it would be the designation for the airport, right? PBI is what it is now, Palm Beach International. So you get your luggage tag, or on your ticket it says PBI, it'll be DJT. So no, I would inconvenience myself, maybe even pay more for an airline ticket to fly out of Donald John Trump International Airport. That's awesome, and that is that's expected to happen. I see no scenario where that does not happen. That would be amazing. Wouldn't you guys love that? Yeah. Yeah, it'd be great for tourism too, because most people, when they fly to South Florida, they either fly to Fort Lauderdale or Miami. Miami's pretty far, but they usually fly to Fort Lauderdale or Miami. I think people will go out of their way to fly to DJT International Airport, don't you? Oh man, I like Palm Beach International Airport. It's pretty convenient when you're there at the airport. It's just the flight times, and I also get cheaper flights. Like when my daughter lived in LA, it was a lot cheaper to fly to LA from Fort Lauderdale than Palm Beach. But I'll fly out of Palm Beach and pay extra when it's Donald John Trump International Airport. No doubt about it. And you know what? I'm not alone. All right, so we've been talking about this new video of Pretti 10, 11 days before the final encounter, when he was out of control, violent, armed, committing multiple felonies and everything else. And this is getting in the way of the narrative that the liberals were trying to portray. This is Ana Navarro. This is before the video came out. This is Ana Navarro talking about Pretti. Yeah, we do. And now this was before the recent video from 10, 11 days before. This is, this is one of those things. They were trying to create this narrative about Pretti before this new video came out. The story came out first that he had broken a rib, he had gotten into a scuffle with ICE agents a week before, but we hadn't seen the video. Now that we've seen the video, you can see this was a madman who very well may have martyred himself. He may have wanted to do that. But you see, even this narrative, they altered his face in the news accounts, made him look handsome from what he really looked like. They took his There's a picture of him in his nurse's scrubs from the VA, which he no longer worked at. And they used either Photoshop or an AI program to alter his face to make him look handsome. And then they were trying to craft this narrative that he was just the guy next door. And now we find out that he's the crazy man next door that you don't want to mess with, because he was crazy and violent. Even his wife didn't want to be with him. She left him because there were problems and that he was too extreme, she said. So what that means, I don't know. I'm sure we'll find out more because people will go and talk to her. But you see Ana Navarro, and Ana Navarro was not alone. Let me pull this up. This is, I've got a clip here of Pocahontas. Yeah, okay. Pocahontas, Elizabeth Warren. This is Pocahontas, Elizabeth Warren. And this is, and it's crazy. This is her talking about Pretti before the new video came out. Okay. So, yeah, so Ana Navarro, the boy next door, you want your daughter to marry him and all this stuff, Elizabeth Warren, all this praise, and then we get this new video and we see the real Alex Pretti, and it's sad. I mean, it's just, the whole thing's sad, you know, and these poor agents that have to go through what they have to go through. But this is what I think had happened, okay? You know, Black Lives Matter came out of the George Zimmerman, Trayvon Martin thing. And there were real people that were out there protesting that Zimmerman should have been arrested and such. And then the Democrats with Black Lives Matter came in and hijacked that movement and turned it into something for them, for politics at the time. And I'm starting to think that's what happened here. We've had 2 deaths with these activists, right? Both of them white people, Renee Good and Pretti, both white people. And I think that the Democrats, the activists, put this in motion with the white people doing the confrontation. And I'll tell you what I mean by that. You know, Tim Walz, when he was picked to be the running mate for Willie Brown's girlfriend, Kamala Harris, part of the reason, now we've since learned that one of the major reasons was they wanted him to bring the Leering Center scam to all 50 states. But one of the main reasons that was talked about during the campaign, they thought that Tim Walz would turn everyday six-pack Joes, Joe the Plumber types, against Trump and into Democrats because they would relate to Tim Walz, right? They had a picture of him with a hood open on a pickup looking at the engine like he was fixing it, and he's white and all this stuff. The Democrats, Kamala Harris and these people, they thought he was the average all-American white guy that people would relate to, right? This fat guy that hangs out with the CCP and praises them for their work in Tiananmen Square, I don't think so. And I'm starting to think that Pretti is a part of that. They're putting these white people to the front and getting them in these martyr-like situations, the Democrats, because they think it'll turn us against ICE and Trump and into their ballpoint camp because, oh, white people are getting killed. You know, I'm telling you, that's how devious they are. If you look at the history of every plot that the Democrats and the never-Trumpers have had against President Trump since he came down the escalator, it's all about trying to turn us against him, right? Oh, we're conservative family values guys. So they got a picture of him with Stormy Daniels. Oh, that's the end of it. That's the end of it. Oh, yeah, you know. Oh, yeah, you know, he's getting arrested. Those law and order Republicans, they'll turn against him. Oh, well, okay, we'll get the mugshot. That'll turn him against them. They support law and order. They're always trying to, they're so stupid. They think we're a bunch of low information voters is what they think we are. And everything they do is to try to turn us against Trump and what he's doing. And they think that if white people get killed, like they've gotten Pretti and Renee Good in these situations, that MAGA people will say, look, white people are getting killed by these ICE officers and it'll turn us against ICE. They really think that way. And when you look at this false narrative that Ana Navarro, Elizabeth Warren, and others, the boy next door that you want your daughter to date, Pretti, and now we got this new video and he's the monster next door. right? You know, this is crazy. And they were all, if it wasn't for this second video, the false narrative would have had legs to it. And it makes me wonder when I see these things, because everything is videotaped today on people's cell phones. We haven't had, a lot of people are saying, I've never seen protesters get killed before. Now, protesters have been getting killed for a long time. We just didn't see it. Now everyone's got a 4K camera in their pocket, so everything's caught from every angle imaginable. It's almost like having 360-degree cameras there, catching everything. We've never had protest with the modern cameras, with the social media like we have now, not at this level. And it makes me wonder how much of American history is not true, that liberals have crafted false narratives for their agenda. You know, the history of the country, American history, is recorded by two groups of people mainly. Liberal college professors who write the history books, and the media, which tend to be liberal, who you see we cannot ever trust them. I want to talk about Coastal Weight Loss Secret. Guys, have you called to keep your New Year's resolution to lose weight? Come on. Look at all the weight I've lost. I look great. This shirt I'm wearing is a pre-weight loss shirt. It is so baggy on me. Oh, my goodness. I only keep this shirt because it has President Trump's high school graduation photograph on it, and I like this shirt. And even though it's too big for me, it's basically like a night shirt now. I could wear this around as a night shirt. It's so big and long on me now because I've lost all this weight. Coastal Weight Loss Secret works. There's no pills, no injections, no shots. You won't starve yourself. You can eat foods you would normally eat, and there's no intense workouts either. In fact, I did 0 exercise, other than exercising my mouth on the air. And, of course, Coastal Weight Loss Secret can help you no matter where you're located. We have listeners from all over the United States who are losing a ton of weight with Coastal Weight Loss Secret. Give them a call right now and schedule your no-charge consultation, 561-247-6300. 561-247-6300. And online, coastalweightlossecret.com. We'll be right back. All right, we'll be back shortly, guys. We're still in radio break. Hold on, guys. I'm just doing a couple things here. Okay. Stand by. All right, just over a minute, and we will be back. If you're new, make sure you subscribe. If you're on hold, stand by. Yep, 1 minute, we'll be back. Less than a minute now, actually. If you're on hold, don't go anywhere. We'll take some calls. I'm excited about the Donald J. Trump International Airport. Wouldn't you like to fly to that? I cannot wait. I can't wait. When they change the signs on the road, I'll go and make a YouTube video and show it to you guys. It's a great airport. All right, 30 seconds. It is so cold in Florida today. Oh, my goodness. Yep, the number's pinned in the live chat if you want to call in. It's a toll-free call. Welcome. If you're new, make sure that you subscribe, all right? And if you're already subscribed, please like the video. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Good morning, Brian. It's Mark from New York. How are you?
All right, Mark.
Hey, I'm just trying to figure out the angle of this whole show. Like, is this video justification for his execution, or is it character assassination?
It's called context.
I'm just trying to figure it out.
It's neither. It's called context.
Okay, so him getting executed was
he wasn't
justified
executed.
then, right?
He wasn't executed.
You saw the video. The
That's
reason
not
you're
an
not showing that
execution.
video,
That's not an
and you haven't done a
execution.
show. The reason you haven't done the show on that is because the video shows clearly he was disarmed and then executed.
The reason
they're not even saying he was going for the gun anymore. They're not saying that.
Slow down for a second. First off, there's two reasons I've not shown the video of Pretti when he got shot. Okay, why do you think?
Executed.
Why do you think? Whatever, propagandist, George Orwell, use whatever words, why do you think I don't show it?
Did you just?
Why do you think I don't show the video?
Orwell?
Why do you think I don't show the video of Pretti getting shot? Why do you think?
Because it doesn't fit your narrative.
No.
Because it clearly shows he was
Nope.
executed.
I don't show.
You're gonna hang up. I know.
I'm not hanging up. No, you're not getting off that easy.
No, you usually do.
I don't. Well,
Okay.
every call in's at a hang up. If I'm on the phone with my wife, one of us hangs up. I mean, the reason I don't show the Pretti video on my YouTube channel is I'm not going to show a video of someone being shot, whether it was the right thing to do or not. And you liberals out there keep asking me to show the video. I mean, the video's widely. The other reason is it's so widely available, you can see it anywhere. And I'm not going to show a video of someone being shot. I showed the Renee Good video, but you didn't see her actually getting shot in the video I showed. I'm not going to show a video of someone being killed, even if it was a justifiable shoot.
It was not justifiable. That's why no one's talking about it anymore.
Everyone's talking about it.
You haven't heard Kristi Noem say it was.
Everyone's talking about it.
I just want to clarify. You're saying that a previous violent act justified him being killed later. That's the only reason you show this video, right?
Do you really think
and
that's what
dedicate
you
3
really
hours
think
to
that?
it.
And listen. You really think that's what I'm saying and doing? You don't think very much of me.
Why else
you don't think very much of me. You think that I am a person of low moral character, obviously, even though you listen to me. But you think I'm a person. No. It's called context. 11 days before.
What context?
The context of what Pretti was like. It was 10 or 11 days.
So he was
10 or 11 days before the final incident. He was involved in an incredibly violent altercation that he instigated with ICE officers, and he was armed then too, because you could see the gun on his belt. Okay, and he was resisting. He was committing multiple felonies, and he was known to them. which puts context to the next time they encountered him. It's called context.
Okay, so in the future, when you play a J6er getting executed somewhere, make sure you do the same thing, because you guys are hypocrites. You guys do the hypocritical thing.
What are you talking about? I know you guys want to keep mentioning J6.
Any J6er.
Why would it?
If one of those violent protesters there gets executed in the future for some crime they did, I don't want to hear you crying about.
Well, there was a difference between there were several different. Okay, when you're talking about January 6th, those people were not armed. They didn't have guns. Pretti had a gun.
Well, not that we saw.
No, nobody had a gun.
I'm sure some of them were.
No. They have metal detectors in the front door. None of the metal detectors went off. No guns. Nobody was arrested with a gun. Yeah.
Yeah, they all want their security.
Yeah.
They all want their security.
You can't. You got to. They're at the door.
All those people going at windows.
Man.
What? Oh my! We watched a different video, I guess.
Multiple metal detectors.
All right. Well, you have a good day, buddy.
Oh yeah. So see how he ran away? I didn't hang up on him. He hung up on me. You know, he couldn't handle it. Couldn't take the heat. Got out of the kitchen. All right. Yeah, I got time for another call. Let's go. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hey, Brian. It's Patty from New Jersey.
Hey, Patty.
Hey. So that guy you just had on, I just want to comment on that. You know, put yourself in those police officers' shoes. Number one, they knew the guy from previous encounters.
Violent encounters.
Yes. They knew that he was, a person who bared arms. Okay. If the guy didn't want to get shot, the very first police officer that engaged him, he should have put his arms up and said, "Sir, I'm armed," and from there. But he chose to fight. So the first officer needed backup because he was resisting arrest, and it required multiple officers to jump on him. Now, the one officer noticed there was a gun on him, so he tried to disarm him and get that gun away from him.
That's right.
And when he did, it misfired. And of course, everybody was saying gun, 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 because the guy had recognized the gun was there. He was trying to get it off. And when it discharged, nobody knew what was going on. So, sir, put yourself in those police officers' situation. Were you going to wait to see if you were the next one who was going to get shot if you were a police officer?
And
I don't think
they
so.
have this they have this thing to them. Okay, let's just say that the liberal arguments about January 6th are true. They're not, but let's just say they are. Just for the but
Yes,
just for the
okay.
discussion, in theory, let's say they are. If they're not, I want to but let's just say they are for the discussion. We have one.
Right.
We would have the conservatives would have one instance of a problem. Democrats have them all the time, nonstop, since the beginning of America, and we would have one, and that's a whole defining moment about us. I don't even understand where they're coming from. Even if what they were saying was true, it would not be relevant, right? I mean, it's so bizarre.
How did they know that it wasn't him shooting his gun? They had recognized he had a gun on him. They alerted all the other officers that there was a gun on that person. And how did any of them know that he actually
you know what
got
this
that
reminds
gun
me
off?
of? For people that didn't live through it, you don't understand. But the O.J. Simpson trial was one of the most craziest times hosting a talk radio show. I was young at the time, I was in my early 20s, but it was a lot of fun. And it was a 9-month-long trial. Before that, we had the pre-trial hearing, and then we had the Bronco chase and everything. And it was the black callers would call in and say, OJ didn't do it, he didn't do it, he was set up, Mark Furman, Van Adder, all this stuff. And then as the trial went on and the evidence came out, they on a dime one day, all the black callers, yeah, he did it, and this is what they would say, yeah, OJ did it, but white people have been getting away with killing black people for 400 years, so too for us is okay.
Yep.
And that went on for 6 months.
Changed the narrative.
Okay. Well, that's what it's called. I don't know if it's the you're another fallacy, but this is what these liberals, all of a sudden, every liberal is telling me, oh, well, January 6th as a justification for everything, right? I mean, it's just like the black collars during OJ.
Well, that's been their play game. But we're also gonna find out here soon, with everything that's going on down in Georgia, that January 6th was, it should have been an insurrection, even though it wasn't. It should have been, because they did steal the election, and that's all going to come out.
With what happened in Georgia yesterday? See, I'm waiting to get some information on what they're looking for before I talk about that. They may be looking to count the ballots and match it up with signatures at polling locations, all kinds of things. But that we don't know exactly what they're looking for.
Right.
They have, believe me,
but they're looking for fraud, is what they're looking for.
Yeah. But I don't know how much is going to be left 6 years later. I don't know. 6 years after.
The Democrats, they've destroyed everything.
But
you know what? Either way, they're going to be hung, because they either destroyed evidence they were told to keep. Right?
Cash
Cash
Patel sent the FBI there, and they have something there's something specific they're looking for. They're looking for, and one of the first things I would look for. Count the number of ballots and match that up to the signatures at the polling locations when you vote. That's the first thing I would do.
Right. Absolutely.
You might find out that
Brian,
there's fewer signatures than ballots is what you're looking for in that instance.
Oh, I'm sure. But on a last note, I just want to let everyone know, before you ever judge a police officer's actions, just realize that they are dealing with things in fractions of seconds, that they have split seconds to make decisions. So you know what? The best thing is when a police officer.
Listen, I'm very late for the break by several minutes, so I got to run. But I do appreciate the call. Take care. If you're on hold, stand by. Back after this. All right, stand by, guys. Welcome to everyone that is new. It's so amazing if you notice with the liberal, yesterday I didn't get a single liberal caller to call in about the Ilhan Omar thing. And now today I got a lot of liberal callers. None of them have mentioned it because they all know it was staged. But there's no saying anything other than this guy's a nut. Look how big the spit is when he spits at these officers. Okay, hold on, guys. Okay, we got a couple minutes till we're back. We're still in radio break. Ashley Babbitt, because the guy had mentioned Ashley Babbitt. The video, if you look at the full video of Ashley Babbitt, remember Ashley Babbitt went to the Capitol Police right there in that hallway and was trying to get them to stop what was going on. Remember that? There were two of them. They were standing up against the wall. Ashley Babbitt's over, the guy that was filming is standing over here. Ashley Babbitt's in the center, and then there were these two Capitol Police on the wall, and she went up, they're standing on the wall like this, and she goes up to them, and she says, "Can you stop these people? We're trying to stop." Remember that? They never show you that video. And she was unarmed. And I got to tell you, it is sick and twisted what these liberals are doing, trying to compare this lunatic to Ashley Babbitt. It's really, but that's what you get with liberals, right? They're classless. It's like Candace Owens with this recording of Erica Kirk. I mean, who does that to a widow? I listened to, before the show today, I listened to the tape that Candace Owens released of Erica Kirk after the assassination, talking to the Turning Point people. She's a trauma victim. Erica Kirk. She's trying to keep Turning Point together, and and someone in Turning Point is working against Erica Kirk. I mean, who recorded that and gave it to Candace? You know, it is disgusting. She obviously is jealous of Erica Kirk. She would like to be the one that's getting the sympathy of everyone. She would like to be the grieving widow of Charlie Kirk, Candace Owens. And it's really disgusting. I've always thought that they were a couple years ago, and they broke up, and that's why she left. I thought that for a long time. She hasn't gotten into that, maybe because she's married now, but she's obviously jealous of Erica Kirk and releasing that tape. I mean, who attacks a widow? Like, you know, it's not years later. You know, it's months later, and Erica Kirk has so much the trauma, her kids. She's got to be worried about her safety, the safety of her children moving forward. And for Candace to do that is one of the scummiest things I've ever seen a person do. If you're new, make sure you subscribe. All right, got 10 seconds and we'll be back. We're still in radio station break. All right, we're back. I'm Brian. It's the Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest running radio show. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
My name is Scott from Minnesota.
Scott in Minnesota. There you are, ground zero. What's on your mind, Scott?
Yeah, I just wanted to set up a baseline. So I'll start with saying that I was outside of being mega adherent, that I was about as hard of a conservative as you could get 2 years ago. I worked construction for 10 years.
Until what? What happened? What turned you against Trump?
Honestly, it was never.
No,
Trump
dishonestly.
No.
Yeah.
Of course. I'm a hopeful nihilist. From a government standpoint.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
So
you were a MAGA guy. You voted for Trump, but you're no longer a Trump supporter. What turned you against Trump?
So here's the thing: is I was never a Trump non-supporter, but also I was never a Trump voter either. Is my evaluation of it all is that Democrats are equally responsible for making Donald Trump an electable candidate when the Apprentice guy should never be an electable candidate.
Oh, wait a minute. The Apprentice guy, I thought you were, a minute ago you told me you were a Trump supporter.
No. I was a conservative, but not a Trump supporter.
What conservative value does Donald Trump not support? He's accomplished pretty much the entire Republican platform. Overturned Roe v. Wade, the immigration issue, great judges. Come on. Just admit you're a liberal. It's okay. Come out of the closet. Don't lie to us. Just admit you're a Democrat.
Okay,
you're a man in Minnesota trashing Trump. Don't try to act like you're some Republican. Come on.
I'd like to give me a quote where I'm trashing Trump.
The Apprentice guy. The Democrats are equally responsible to make. That's disrespectful to arguably the greatest president maybe in our nation's history.
What's the record that determines that?
What do you mean? You want an example of something he's done that's great? He shut down the border. He overturned Roe v. Wade. Hundreds of thousands of babies have been born that would have been aborted. And over the course of time, hundreds of millions of people throughout the rest of eternity will live because Donald Trump overturned Roe v. Wade. Just as one example.
Okay, so how does that define someone as the greatest out of everyone ever?
Saving millions of lives is a pretty heroic thing. That makes somebody great.
The greatest, you said?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
EST is in better than everyone else, better than all presidents ever of all time.
Who was better?
And see, this is like
who was better? Who's done something like? Who's better?
I mean, the thing is
tell me who's better.
Right?
Who was better and why?
Honestly.
No, dishonestly. You with the honesty. Isn't everything you say honest? Why do you have to tell me when you're being honest? Tell me which president has done something like that.
It's not necessarily that. All I'm saying, see, this is the groundwork.
Yeah, pretty tough.
Lie, right?
That's a tough one to top, isn't it? Overturning Roe v. Wade, saving hundreds of millions of people will live and be born. Not just the ones that aren't aborted, but they're going to have children, and they're going to have children. You know, it's amazing. Hundreds of millions of people over the course of time will live because President Trump overturned Roe v. Wade. That's amazing.
Yeah, but I mean, let's be honest. It's like I didn't dig my feet in and like oppose you completely, right? I'm just asking like what record determines the greatest.
Well,
right?
that makes somebody pretty darn great. Who has saved more lives than that?
I mean,
come on.
All right.
I gotcha.
Okay.
He's great. He's done something amazing.
Sure.
He's great. Just say it. Isn't that tough? Mr. Conservative in
Okay,
Minnesota.
Okay, no, see, that's the thing is like, but you don't really like know me, so it's like
I know
can try
you.
and like.
I've been
listen. Right?
This may be the first time you've been on the radio, but I've been doing this for 35 plus years. I've talked to thousands of idiots like you on the phone, and I can tell by the first syllable out of your mouth everything about you. I've just been doing it a long time.
You don't. Yeah, I promise you, you don't.
Okay.
Okay, so like here. Okay, so this is what we need to understand, and this is like why I want to have these conversations with people, right? Is it's like, so like I am pro-life, right? So it's like that's the thing, but it's like just because someone did something good for one domain of government doesn't make them responsible.
No, what President Trump did was something for humanity. Overturning Roe v. Wade was something he did for humanity. It is literally the work of the Lord Jesus Christ himself what he did. No one thought it could be done.
I didn't deny that, but I'm talking about there's so many more areas of life in government.
Well, you asked me to give an example. I can give other examples, but that's his greatest accomplishment, in my opinion.
Right. And I get that, right? It's just like, so what I'm trying to get to is
yes,
is that like everyone is equally responsible for the position that we're in, no matter.
This sounds like some philosophy class in college, with some idiot professor who's talking about the way of the world, and you know, I live in the real world.
My college is fully liberal, and I don't adhere to their thoughts, and I am very unpopular there.
I doubt your unpopularity has anything to do with your intellect or your politics. There's other reasons you're probably unpopular.
See, that's what I'm talking about. It's like I'm trying to come with a balanced take, and then you're being kind of like inflammatory and like insulting.
You got a girl?
Like,
you got a girlfriend? You got a girlfriend?
So, I'm married with 3 kids.
You're married with 3 kids? Really?
Construction.
How old are your kids?
Yes, 7, 5, and 14.
Okay. So why would a grown man who's married with children, okay, be opposed to Donald Trump, who's just increased your child tax credit, made your taxes lower permanently, putting more money in your pocket to support your wife and your children? You should be a big champion of everything, Donald Trump, instead of talking like Tim Walz, your idiot governor.
Yeah, I mean,
what kind of construction do you do?
You wanna? I was a.
Oh, you were. So you're not in the construction business. You said you were.
What do you mean?
I was. A minute ago, you said you work in construction. I said, what kind of construction work? And you said, I used to. So that's past.
Oh, I do side work still. So, on my own.
You do side work? What do you do full time?
Right now, I'm a full-time student.
How are you a full-time student with a wife and 3 kids?
Because we don't make enough money to break the threshold of services, and so I'm speed rushing through school, 18 credits.
You don't make enough money to meet the threshold of service? What does that mean? I don't understand what that means.
To break. So we are stuck in a position of we can't break the threshold to make enough money to get a situation we're in with the skills that we have.
What?
So,
you're a construction worker, man. You can go anywhere in the world and earn a living.
You've
got a skill that you could go to any city, town, village on the planet Earth and find work.
Finding work isn't the problem.
So are you on?
It's
So
like
how
the
do you
amount
how
of-
do you how do you pay to support your wife and 3 kids and be a full-time student and not work? How do you do that?
So she works full time. Well, I homeschool.
You live off
the
your
kids
wife?
and-
Your wife is, oh my goodness. Listen, I got to run for
Okay,
a
but-
break. Oh my goodness. See what I mean about men today? He's got to sending his wife out to work. I worked full time, sometimes 2 jobs when I went to college, and I had a wife and 1 kid. Oh my goodness. Sends his wife out to work in the winter in Minnesota? Jeez. Oh boy. We'll be right back. Wow. All right.
Hey, man.
Hey there. We got 2 minutes. So I'm gonna put you on hold. I'll be right back with you. Okay, hold on.
All right.
That's Ian, our travel agent. All right, stand by, guys. Stay at home. You know what we call stay-at-home dads? What do you think we call stay-at-home dads in the MAGA movement? What do you guys think? You know what we call them? Bums. Bums. That's what we call them. Oh my goodness. Okay, less than a minute. All right, Ian, we got about 50 seconds.
All right.
Oh my goodness. If you're on hold, hang in there, guys. Hold on, Ian. All right. Are you back there, Ian?
Yeah, man.
All right, 25 seconds.
Okay.
We're back. I'm Brian. It's the Steve Kane Show. And on the line, we have Ian from Cruise and Travel Depot, who's the travel agent that handles all of our MAGA cruises. And we got the 10th one coming up. I'm just looking at the calendar. It's January 29th. I think we're 2 months away from returning from our cruise at this point, Ian.
I think you're correct.
Yeah. Because we leave on March 22nd.
Yeah, it's going to be great times. And a welcome break from this cold weather.
Oh man, are you kidding me? I know. So, you were telling, we were telling people last week to make their reservations for our shore excursions, and our Tortola British Virgin Island catamaran, you're telling me that is full and sold out?
Yep, as of yesterday, I booked the last two spots.
Wow, I can't wait. Our catamaran is so much fun. We charter a private boat, and it's a nice boat, man. And it's sailboats, yachts, catamarans. and we go on snorkeling tours around beautiful islands. This time it's going to be Tortola and the British Virgin Islands, which is beautiful, and there's food and drinks. But you don't have to go snorkeling or even in the water. You can just stay on the boat. A lot of people do, and it's a lot of fun. So that's great. So things are going well for the cruise.
Absolutely. And I am taking a wait list for people who want to come. You know, always seem to need a bigger boat every year, right? And that's really our signature excursion, our signature tour, ever since St. Kitts, right?
Oh.
So that's the one to not miss.
I remember the first time we did the catamaran, you know, you were telling me, oh, we should do this catamaran thing. I don't know. We're going to get on one boat to be on another. And it turned out that's like one of the favorite signature things of all of our cruises is our catamaran that we do. And it's so... It's a great time for us to bond and have a great time together. We have a great time. There's a couple things There's a couple things I want to mention, and you can talk about this a little bit, Ian. To join us in our group, you have to actually have made a reservation through Ian at Cruise and Travel Depot. So if you have not, you're not welcome on our excursions or with our group activities and such. And this is a pretty important thing, as we've had some stalkers at sea in past cruises following me from island to island. So so there is, but you do, if you have tried to make a reservation on the ship outside of Ian from Cruise and Travel Depot, you need to call Ian. You have to make the reservation through Ian. But we have a lot of onboard activities this time around, things we've never done before, Ian.
Oh, absolutely. And, you know, we are still going to do some of our old favorites at the Martini Bar, at the World Class Bar. I personally love the Sunset Bar. That's just, you know, my favorite venue. You know, even though the Martini Bar technically has better drinks, but there's going to be some great onboard stuff for us to do together.
You know what I did on the last cruise, and I some of the people in our group, I did this. This was an onboard unscheduled event. We went and had a drink at every bar on the ship one day in a row, from bar to bar. Boom, 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 boom. I don't remember the last half of that day, but I'm sure, but it was going well. But it was a good time. It was a good time.
Yeah, maybe we'll start at the Mass Bar this year. They've got that spicy watermelon margarita. I love that.
Well, what I learned about that is I started at the bottom of the ship and worked my way up. This time we got to start at the top and work our way down. It's easier to go down the stairs than up the stairs.
That's true, but then you got to go back up to the stateroom.
That's true. Well, whatever. We have a good time. I also want to talk about there's a handful of cabins left on board. So if you've not already booked, you still can. This is our 10th annual MAGA cruise. It is a great time. This is our largest group we've ever had. And I'm going to give you Ian's number. And if you're coming from out of town or out of state, Ian can help you with airfare, hotel stay, even transportation to and from the ship. All right. And Ian's number is 561-244-5779. If you get his voicemail, please leave your name and number. He will call you back. 561-244-5779. Is there anything I've left out that we should mention?
Not at the moment, but the San Juan Shore excursion will be available soon. It's taking a little extra time because it's got to be right, it's got to be awesome, and it's got to be special.
Well, Ian and I, San Juan is my favorite place in the Caribbean, okay? We've been there a few times on cruises. And we had a great time. We had this one tour guide who was phenomenal. His name's PJ, and he gave us a tour of San Juan. But those of you that were on that tour, you know what I'm talking about. That was a fun day. It really was, because it was a memorable day. It was a memorable, and any day that's memorable is a great day. But Ian and I, we're planning something very extraordinary in San Juan, Puerto Rico, and when it's announced, you're going to want to book it right away. It's going to fill up fast. It's going to be a great day.
It absolutely is going to fill up fast.
Yeah. All right. So listen, if you're not already booked on the cruise, call Ian. If you're not booked on the shore excursions, call Ian. Even though Tortola is filled up, get on the wait list. Because you might be able to get a bigger boat, I'm hoping.
Always can get a bigger boat, it seems.
Yeah. All right. So
it's a good problem to have.
It is. So call Ian, 561-244-5779. 561-244-5779. All right, Ian, we'll talk soon.
Take care.
All
Bye.
right, take care, take care. All right, you're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hi, Brian. This is Dave from Pennsylvania.
Hey, Dave.
I just wish people would learn from past, videos over the last years on how people confront police and law enforcement. Don't they learn that if you act like that, you're taking a risk of getting yourself killed or jail or, stuff like that? I mean, don't people learn from all this stuff?
You would think.
And as for the Democrats, I want to do comparisons like that one caller for January 6th to this. There's videos of other things that's happened with the Democrats. Obama and Clinton, they got all these illegals out but when they were in office. And remember that famous kid from Cuba that was in the closet?
Elian Gonzalez.
Yeah, and that agent was with a gun pointed at him.
AR-15.
And they wanted.
He was
they
in the
didn't want to compare.
He was in. Elian Gonzalez was being held in the closet of the house in Little Havana by Donato Del Rimple, who was the fisherman that rescued him, and masked federal agents sent by President Clinton pointed machine gun at that little boy, little Elian, and snatched him and sent him to Cuba, where he's a propaganda tool these days.
Yeah, old Fidel Castro made a big thing of him back there. Remember? When
Yeah.
he was known?
Yeah, Steve and I went to the house. Because it's in Miami. We're in South Florida. We went to Elian's house during all of that. Yeah, we did the whole thing. It was a big story down here. We covered it extensively. It was so sad.
Oh, I know. But I mean, it just makes me laugh. I don't see any protests or major things like you see today.
Now, I mean, and have you noticed this trend with, you hear all these liberals, either, like that last joker I was talking to earlier, he voted for Trump, he supports Trump, but now he doesn't. They all are they're all fed up Trump voters, or all the liberals are gun owners. They carry concealed weapons to political protest all the time, and they're strong advocates for the Second Amendment and gun rights. It's hard to have conversations with liars.
Oh, I know. They're all hypocrites, I mean. And just like I was watching when Elizabeth Warren was doing her speech. Well, if she was real authentic, why is she reading it off a piece of paper?
Oh, Pocahontas? Yeah.
Yeah, why can't she speak like Donald Trump? Well, he don't have a piece of paper in his hand.
Well, English is not, her first language is Cherokee, so English is her second language. Maybe that's why. I interviewed on my podcast that when that was going on with Pocahontas, I had the genealogist from the Cherokee Nation on, who was really upset that Elizabeth Warren was claiming to be one of them. All right, appreciate the call. All right, take care. All right, you're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Yeah, hi, Brian. I'm actually a Brian also from Bartow, Florida.
Bartow.
Long-time watcher, first-time caller.
I have friends believe it or not, I have friends in Bartow, Florida. Every year they have a science fiction. Yeah, there's a science fiction convention in downtown Bartow every year.
Yeah, Sci-Fi Con.
Yeah, Sci-Fi. Yeah, Bartow Sci-Fi Con. Yeah, my friends have been trying to get me to go to that in Bartow for years.
Yeah, it's pretty fun.
Mm-hmm.
So I got a question
Here we
for
go.
you with your views on all this.
Yes.
Okay. With everything you've seen thus far, what is your stance on what happened?
On what topic?
On the two shootings in Minnesota, justified or unjustified?
They're both justified shootings, sadly. I mean,
They're both justified. Okay?
Correct.
So they're both justified. So we established that. But yet, the officer who shot
he thinks he's exposing me. What?
The Ashley Babbitt shooting wasn't, correct?
Okay, I'll go one at a time.
No,
I'm going one. Yeah, I'm going to respond. Ashley Babbitt and Renee Good. That was the first one. Renee Good had something Ashley Babbitt didn't, and that is a deadly weapon, a 2,000-pound SUV that she was trying to murder a ICE agent with. The second guy here, Pretti had something that Ashley Babbitt did not have. That was a gun. And he was also attacking federal agents. She wasn't attacking anyone, and she was on a nope, she wasn't. She went to.
He was attacking
Nope.
at that moment.
Nope, she was not.
At that moment, he
Nope.
was or wasn't?
She went. Nope, she was not attacking, and she had no gun. Sorry, Bartow. I love Bartow, but my friends are honest in Bartow.
I'm asking
and
questions.
MAGA, not like
I'm
you.
asking questions.
Yeah, well, you're getting
I'm
the
asking you
answers.
questions.
I
You
know.
can't have questions.
Well, why don't you respond to my answer to your question, Bartow?
So you're saying she wasn't attacking or anything like that?
I know she wasn't. I'm out of time for the hour,
I'm
but
trying
no.
to agree with you.
Yeah, okay,
But
you
you're
agree.
being
Okay, well, I appreciate it. Oh, my goodness. My friends in Bartow are MAGA. All right, we'll be back right after this. Oh, my goodness. These people. They just don't get it, people. They just don't get it. Ashley Babbitt was not attacking police officers, and she was unarmed. All right, stand by, guys. If you're on hold, hang in there. Okay. Okay, we have 90 seconds, and we will be back. Hold on, guys. One minute, guys, 1 minute. Oh, boy. I love these. Well, I'll explain it when we get back. I'll take a call or two, then I'll explain. Boy, if you're new, make sure you subscribe. This is where MAGA comes to talk. 30 seconds. It is so cold in Florida. 10 seconds. All right, the 8 o'clock hour has begun. Callers on hold, stand by. My name is Brian Craig. This is Florida's longest running radio show, The Steve Kane Show. You know, the talking point of the day from the left is Ashley Babbitt, Ashley Babbitt. You know, the video of Ashley Babbitt that you've seen most commonly is not the full video. Seconds before, by the way, that video of Ashley Babbitt's assassination was taken by fake MAGA guy, Black Lives Matter, who was working for the news media. Remember that? A few seconds before she was assassinated, Ashley Babbitt, there were to the right of the screen there, and this video is very difficult to find, but there were two Capitol Police officers leaned up against the wall, standing up against the wall. Ashley Babbitt went up to them and begged them to stop people in that hallway from moving forward right before she was shot. She had no weapon. She was not violent. She was begging the police to try to stop the event. Both of these sad souls that lost their lives in Minneapolis were resisting arrest or in assaulting federal agents. Both of them had weapons. Pretti had a gun. Renee Good had a 2,000-pound vehicle. All right, let's go. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from? You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Oh, hi, Brian. This is Jessica.
Hey, Jessica.
I was calling about that man from Minnesota that said that he was a conservative and voted for Trump.
Oh, the guy that's the stay-at-home dad?
Yeah.
Oh, my.
You know, oh my God, he was giving me so much stress. How can a man speak the way that he spoke? He sounded so insecure about himself. He sounded that he's struggling financially with his family, and he's blaming Trump because of it, instead of blaming his state governor and his state probably mayor that is robbing him from the benefit of his work and employment. I mean, it is.
Well, you know, here's the thing with that guy.
Here's the thing with that guy.
Okay, here's the thing with that guy, okay? I didn't go through his whole life story, but he has no wife, he has no kids, okay? The whole story was a lie to try to build up credibility. And then as the conversation went on, it started to fall apart for him. But, you know, I was up against a break, so I didn't have time to walk him down the whole garden path. But, you know, come on.
Yeah, I mean, 3 kids? 3 kids? I feel bad for those 3 kids if he does have 3 kids.
They don't
I feel
exist.
bad for them.
They don't exist.
No,
he may be
don't
one of
exist,
3 kids.
right?
He may be one of 3 kids that his parents are taking care of, even though he's an adult.
But it is unbelievable, Brian, what's going on. I mean, I only hope that President Trump follows through, and honestly, I want to see that he sends not only the National Guard, but he arrests the governor. You know what? Even though that the governor is probably trying to work things out with him right now, he needs to arrest that guy, because those 2 deaths of Minnesota, it's his fault. He was the one inciting violence.
Yeah.
He was the one that was telling his people to get out there and not follow the law and disrespect law enforcement.
And you know what? You know, if you watch Tim Walz now, he's talking the same way, but he is cooperating behind the scenes. President Trump is just allowing him to save face.
I hope that although that he's cooperating, Brian, he needs to be arrested. I mean, President Trump cannot forget that Democrats were the one that impeached him twice, that took the mugshot of him, you know, that raided his home. They don't play. They're evil.
Mm-hmm.
And President Trump cannot forget this.
Yes.
Cannot forget this.
Yeah.
So they're going to go after him again if they win the elections in November. Hopefully not. Hopefully we'll all get out and vote. But, you know, he can't forget what they did to him. But I know that President Trump is nice and he wants to work for the American people. You know, he wants to sit down on the table and speak to everybody, but I don't think he needs to forget who he's dealing with.
That's right. That's
Brian.
right. Well, listen, I'm going to move on, but I appreciate the call, okay? Oh, by the way, guys, this weekend, you got to go see Melania's movie in the theater. I'm going to go see, this will be my first time in a movie theater in 7 years, and I'm going to go see Melania over the weekend. You need to go and support her. And, you know, if she doesn't have great box office over the weekend, the news are going to, you know, they hate Melania. Okay, so go and see Melania this weekend. It comes out this weekend. It's important to support Melania, all right? You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from? You're on the air once, twice. All right, you missed your chance. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Charles from Stewart, Florida.
Charles and Stewart. What's up, Charles?
I apologize. Let me take you up speaker real quick.
It's okay.
Okay, you there?
I am here, yes.
Okay, Brian, good morning. I got a question and a statement, and I want your opinion. I've heard some people talking about, why don't we just succeed? Because this way they could keep what they want, and we could keep what we want. What do you think about that?
That's crazy. Break up the country? Why would we break up the country?
Well, because we're at each other's throats. We're like the
it's
hatred
always
on
been
the
this
left.
way. It's all the country's always been divided pretty much 50-50. It's always
But
been.
don't you think it's worse now? Don't
No.
you think it's worse now?
No.
No?
No, there's deportations going on in 50 states, and there's only one place there's a problem. Minneapolis, Minnesota. It's not even the
Right.
wole state.
Tiny,
yeah,
I hear you.
and it's not even a, you take St. Paul away, it's not really even a huge city. It's kind of like a small, medium-sized city, isn't it? Is Minneapolis
Right,
like the size
right.
of Cincinnati or something? I don't know. So no,
I don't
there's
know,
not
but
that much resistance going on. Very little resistance. It's just
okay.
there's just
All
a
right.
lot of there's a lot of coverage of it.
Right. Well, I just wanted to ask you your opinion. But it's funny because a lot of these, Minnesota, Minnesota's a beautiful state. I mean, isn't that the 10,000 lakes or something like that?
10 million idiots, I think, is what it is on the license plate.
Anyway, my statement was, well, thank you for your feedback on that. My statement was, I truly believe that the so-called Summer of Love was way worse than January 6th.
Are you talking about you're talking about the 60s?
No.
Oh, BLM?
No.
Oh, the BLM Summer of Love.
Right. That, that too is a whole bunch of stuff with that.
January,
but I mean, burning down,
if you go back, okay, and you look at the footage, and I remember watching it live, and you watch the people, that whoever that was that broke that window was either Antifa or a Fed, okay?
Right.
Right. He was not the guy that broke the window was either Antifa or a Fed. He's never been identified. But if you go and watch the video inside the place, I remember watching it live, and it blew my mind how people were walking inside the velvet rope lines where you're supposed to walk. They were, were obeying the rules, and they went in and they came out. And there were some incidents here or there, but for the most part, people went in one door and out the other, and the Capitol Police were very peaceful, waving at them the whole time, and throughout most of it.
Right. Oh yeah. Well, and the other thing with this happened recently about where ICE was supposedly staying at a hotel. It's like these people, they come and trash the hotel on the outside. It's like, well, now you just ruined somebody's business because of your ill-fated,
They're looting their own city. They're so stupid, liberals.
I know.
Yeah.
It's amazing. I feel sorry for the people who run a business in that city. But yeah. I'm sure, my father once told me, he goes, and I think I mentioned this before, like Minnesota, I'm sure upstate and in the country area, they're probably conservative, I'm guessing. It's the big cities that have the left.
Minnesota, I hear people say that. I mean, even here in Florida, we have some blue places, Orlando, Jacksonville, right? There's blue places even in Florida. Miami did not turn blue. That's a lie. I'm not going to go through that now. But the city of Miami is not Miami. The city of Miami is a tiny, tiny little town. The city of Miami, a very little tiny place. It's not Miami Beach. It's not Miami-Dade County. A little tiny place in Miami went blue. And they think it's the whole southern tip of the Florida Peninsula went blue. Tell themselves whatever they want to tell themselves to get through the day. But I don't know. I do know this. Minnesota has given us a lot of liberal lunatics. Paul Wellstone, Walter Mondale, Al Franken.
Oh, it's unbelievable.
Al Franken.
Unbelievable.
So there's
him?
Yeah, he was the senator from there. So yeah.
Real quick, what is Monroe County blue or red or mixed or what's up?
Monroe County where?
Keys?
In the Keys?
Monroe County in Florida.
Oh, in Florida, in the Keys?
Yeah.
That's a good question. I assume it's blue because Key West is so liberal. It's Key West has been run by the gays forever.
Right.
Yeah.
So I guess Marathon.
I'm going to find out. Some friends of mine have a house in Key West, and they go on our MAGA cruises, and I'm going to go visit them in a couple weeks in Key West, and I'm going to bring my Make America Great Again hat and my Trump 2028 hat, and I'm going to wear it when we go out in Key West, and I'll find out if it's MAGA down there or not. We'll find out. I'll let you know when I get back from Key West.
All right, you take care.
If I'm not on the air and dead, you'll know it's blue. All right, take care.
Thank you.
All right, take care. I'm looking forward to that. Yeah, we're gonna go out to, You know, Hemingway's old hangout with my MAGA gear on. I was telling you guys earlier this week that someone, an online travel vlogger that I was a big, big fan of, that I met a few times, Adam the Woo, died 2 days before Christmas. And man, you know, and I'm such a fan of his that next time I'm up in Orlando, I'm going to go visit his grave site. And his cause of death was just released this week. He had a heart attack. He had massive blockage. If he would have gone and had the heart scan at Life Imaging FLA, he'd be alive today. He wouldn't have had that heart attack because they would have detected it. You know, people go in there all the time and they find out they have 80% or more blockage. They're saving lives every single day at Life Imaging FLA. You've heard listeners of ours who have called in and found out that they've had blockage, they've had heart issues. One listener who had the cancer screening found out he had a tumor, who called me last week. Call Life Imaging FLA. By the way, they have locations in Broward, Palm Beach, and Miami-Dade County. Call Life Imaging FLA for your free heart scan now with a few minimum requirements. Valued at $699. From your cell, call pound 250 and say free heart scan. You'll be connected in seconds. That's pound 250. Just say free heart scan and you'll be connected in seconds. We'll be right back. All right, if you're on hold, stand by. Okay, we'll be back in just a couple minutes, guys. Hang in there. This was great yesterday with President Trump, wasn't it?
Your call has been for.
Oh, yeah. I'm going to play that when we get back. Stand by, guys. We have 40 seconds. "30 seconds, we'll be back. Hang in there, guys. All right, we're back. I'm Brian. It's the Steve Kane Show. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hi, Brian. This is Brian from Louisiana.
All right, Louisiana, what's on your mind?
Hey, I don't know. Nick Sorter reported this about Pretti. His wife left him 2 years ago.
Yes.
Because because the way he is right now. And
Yeah, because he was
his wife
nuts.
Didn't even want. Yeah.
Yeah.
That should tell you something right there.
Well, what it tells, and he lost his job, right? So what all this tells me is that this guy's life was just destroyed. I mean, he had really messed up his life. He lost his job. He lost his wife. So whatever was going on in his family, in his family life and personal life, none of it was good.
No.
And he obviously lost his mind.
And the sad thing about it, he didn't. The wife didn't want the kids either, because of him.
Really, I didn't hear that part. I don't know too much about that.
Yeah. His wife didn't want to have nothing to do with the kids because the way he turned his kids
that's
into,
kind of that all this stuff. I don't know about the kids. I didn't even know he had kids. But
really? He got 2 kids that started to be like Antifa.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. Well, hopefully,
Nick
if that's true, hopefully the wife can get control of him.
Yeah, I hope so too.
But I assume I appreciate the call. I assume the wife's a Democrat too. I wanted to mention something because something real exciting has happened and no one's talking about it. This cold snap may delay it, but in a couple of days here in Florida, NASA is launching the first manned mission to the moon since 1972. The last Apollo mission was in 1972, and I was one, so I don't remember. But Artemis 2 is launching from Florida, and it's going to be in the 20s over the weekend at Cape Kennedy. So they may not launch. That cold morning is what caused the Challenger disaster, and there's some fueling concerns with the cold temperature. But it will go, and this is an absolute amazing thing that's going on, and it's getting no press coverage. This is the second mission. The Artemis 1 went to the moon, had nobody in it. This one is going to orbit the moon. It's a 10-day mission, and then come back to Earth. Artemis 3, which is also going to launch this year, is going to land on the moon. And these are 4-people missions. Artemis 3 this year is going to land on the moon. 2 of the 4 astronauts will make the landing, and they're going to stay on the moon for a week. And there's a total of 11 or 12 Artemis missions. Each of them is taking pieces and leaving behind for the future moon base. And this is a NASA operation working with SpaceX and others, but it's a NASA mission. And I'm really excited. And since I can see the launches from my driveway, I'm hoping that it's launching in the evening is the first window. I'm hoping it's a clear day, and I hope it happens at night because it's so beautiful to watch rocket launches at night. I've been watching rockets and space shuttles take off my whole life. I've never seen a moon launch before. And each one of these Artemis rockets carries a payload equal to what it would have taken 33 of the original Eagles that landed on the moon during Apollo to carry. So they're bringing a lot. And the vehicle that actually lands on the moon is reusable. So what they're doing this time is it's just an orbital thing, and they're also testing the docking capabilities with the landing vehicle and the capsule. The vehicle that lands on the moon is reusable. So the return vehicle after the first moon landing, which will be Artemis 3 later this year, is going to take off, dock with the space capsule, and it will stay in low Earth orbit for the next mission. It's amazing. And that when they take all the pieces of the moon base, the next astronauts, they're going to live there for a year on the moon. And I'm so excited about this, and there's no coverage of it, really. And I've been wondering, why is there no coverage? In fact, this mission, even though they're not landing, it's the first time we've sent astronauts to the moon since 1972. There's 3 Americans and 1 Canadian. One of them is a black man, and one is a woman. So it's the first woman and the first black man to go on a moon mission, and still no press coverage about it, right? So why not? And the only thing that I can think of is because the media are so anti-America, and it's such a pro-American accomplishment happening under President Trump's presidency. Under President Trump, not only are we sending Americans back to the moon, we're going to land Americans on the moon in Trump's presidency. And they don't want such a positive story coming out about America or the Trump presidency, is the only conclusion I can come to. And I'm so excited about this, and I'll be watching it. And those of you that follow me on YouTube, I will make a YouTube video of the launch. I might get up on the roof this time. I usually, for the good launches, I get the ladder out and climb up on my roof. My house is due south of the launch pads at Cape Kennedy. So I have a great view, and I'm really curious how this is going to impact the moon landing deniers. A lot of people think we didn't go to the moon, and the reason that picks up is it's been so long, right? You know, and they got all this stuff, you know, Van Allen belt, all this stuff. It's all BS. We've been there. I have met and spoken with Apollo astronauts. We had Buzz Aldrin on the show once, you know, the great Buzz Aldrin. And I've just always been a great fan. And I'm excited. And all Americans should be excited. The United States, we are the only country to send people to the moon, ever. And we're going to do it again. And all these years later, no country has been able to do what we're about to do again. And that's send people to the moon and return them safely to Earth. And it's something that all Americans should be proud of. And you know, I'm going to climb up on the roof probably for this moon launch, depending on the time of day, right? If it happens early in the morning, right before I go on the air, I don't know. I might have to watch it from the driveway. But I'm able to climb up on the roof because of Dr. Philip Appleton and his laser away pain treatment. Stop living in pain. Get your life back. You know, living with pain is tough. Before Dr. Appleton rid me of pain, my arthritis pain, my knee pain, my shoulder pain, the 7 pains he relieved me of, with no drugs, no shots, no injections, no medications, just as laser away pain treatment, no surgery, no downtime. I wasn't as active as I am today. And, you know, the pain that I had, my arthritis that I had in my hand and my knee pain was so bad, sometimes I would just go to sleep at night. I would. It was really, the arthritis was so bad. Oh, my goodness. And I remember I went in because I had this pain in my hand. Dr. Appleton examined me. He said, "Brian, you have arthritis." And I said, "I'm done." He says, "No, the laser treats that." And I said, "Okay." I said, "I'm going to need," I was almost in tears. I was in so much pain. Boom. Arthritis gone, and it is not returned. Dr. Appleton is amazing. Appointments are not necessary. Walk-ins are welcome, even on Saturday. If you have scans or x-rays, go see him. He'll take them with you. He'll be glad to look at them. Take advantage of this no-charge consultation and let Dr. Appleton tell you how he can rid you of your pain, like he's done with me 7 times. His number is 954-973-0710. 954-973-0710. And online, AppletonChiro.com. We'll be right back. All right, stand by, guys. Okay, what do I have left? Okay, hang in there, guys. Okay. If you're on hold, hang in there. I'm going to go to the phones when we get back, okay? Stand by, guys. Okay, we got 2 minutes and we'll be back. Little more than a minute. Nicki Minaj was amazing. No doubt about that. All right, we'll be back shortly, guys. I am monitoring for the press conference with Holman. I'll go to it if it happens when I'm on the air. We got about 30 seconds and we'll be back. All right, we're back. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from? You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from? All right, you missed your chance. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Brian from Deerfield.
Hey, Brian, what's up?
Hey, Brian, how are you? You know, Brian, I'm a big space fan. I had no idea they were going this weekend with the Artemis program.
Well, I don't know what the launch date's going to be now because of the cold. It's going to be in the 20s at Cape Kennedy this weekend, and there's some problems with fueling the rockets.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Oh, my goodness. I mean, this is going to be a major program with the building of the base on the moon.
It's supposed to launch on the 6th. It's supposed to launch on the 6th, but the rocket's been on the launch pad.
Okay. You know, I think you know generally where I live, like a military on 10th. Do you think I could probably see the shot from Deerfield, or
if it's clear? If it's clear, you know what? I don't know. You know, I watch the launches all the time, but this is my first moon launch in my life watching. Right.
Right.
So I don't know what direction the moon launches go. Sometimes they go north. They take off and go north. Sometimes they go due east. Sometimes they go south our way. So I don't know. But if it's clear, you should be able to see something. If it's clear,
Yeah. Oh, that's amazing. I thought later in the year. Isn't it what a shame that the media is not covering this at all? I haven't seen a word anywhere about this.
I know, nowhere. I know, it's driving me nuts.
It's a disgrace.
It drives me nuts. I'm so excited about. Now this one's not landing on the moon. They're going to orbit the moon, and they're going to be 4,500 miles away from the moon. But when they go on the dark side of the moon, they're going to be further from Earth than any humans have ever been. And,
oh my God!
And I'm really what I'm waiting for is I want to hear what the reaction of the moon landing deniers are, right? Because we're sending people back.
That's a great point. That's a great point. Now it's going to be proof positive. I mean, now this is going to be a 4-mission program from what I think
No,
you
more.
said.
There's at least 11, maybe more.
11?
Oh, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah,
you know, one of the guys he's a Navy SEAL, a medical doctor, and now he's going to be an astronaut too.
Yeah. No, I mean, and it blows me away that there's 4 astronauts on this one, right? One's a Canadian. The 3 Americans, there's an African American and a woman. A black man and a woman have never been to the moon, and it's still not getting publicity.
Unbelievable.
That's how much they hate America.
Yeah, I have my doubts to go this weekend, but boy, oh boy, that's something very exciting.
The first window is February 6th.
February 6th.
Yeah.
Okay.
They're supposed to fuel the rockets this weekend. See, I was going to go to Cape Kennedy this weekend so I could see it on the launch pad, but it's going to since it's going to be in the 20s. I cannot imagine me going up there.
No,
I'd have to buy new clothes. I have no clothes for that.
Yeah, it's I guess so. But
and what if it snows? I can't drive in snow.
Well, one of the privileges living in South Florida, you feel like you're kind of part of the space program because you see these things going up all the time.
We are.
I mean, it's wonderful.
No, I watch them all the time. Sometimes the SpaceX usually launches early in the morning during the week. The SpaceX launches. I've seen countless SpaceX, but when they launch this rocket, it's the same. It has the same engines as the space shuttle. And it's very similar. So it's a big one. The ones when they have people on them, it's a much larger rocket. The SpaceX with the satellites for the internet are smaller, but because this one's big, it's a little smaller than the Saturn rockets that Apollo had. But you should be able to see it from Pompano if it's a clear day.
When they're setting up like the Falcon ones with the SpaceX, now can you hear it fairly at all?
Hear it? No, I can't hear it, but I can see it.
Yeah.
The reason I've never been in person for a launch because they scrub them so much. So I figure if I go there, it's probably not going to happen. So I just watch it from the driveway. But this one, I'm going to get up on the roof. And I just hope it's a clear day.
It's going to be a huge year for the space program between the SpaceX and the NASA programs and going to the moon and Elon Musk plans. It's going to be if you're into space, it's going to be a great year.
Well, if you're into America, the next one, Artemis 3, is actually going to land on the moon. This is Artemis 2. Artemis 3 is going up this year, and it's going to land on the moon, and 2 astronauts are going to stay there for a week. While the other 2 orbit. So I mean, it's a big deal.
And a reusable rocket, a
reusable moon lander, yeah.
Wow.
I know, it's a big deal. I don't know why it's not getting any coverage.
Yeah, it's a huge deal. Oh, that's fantastic.
And it is NASA.
I wish the best. Yeah. I mean, I haven't even been to the Space Center. I got to get out there, but it's
the Space Center is they redid it years ago. They have one of the space shuttles, I think it's Discovery, it's hanging from the ceiling. And you get to go right up to it.
I heard that.
And I once took, my wife and I, when we first got married, went to the Space Center, and that shuttle was on the launch pad. We got to go to the launch pad and see it. Now it's hanging from the ceiling. They have they have a piece of the Challenger and a piece of the Columbia on display that you can see.
Oh, boy.
The museum will blow your mind. If you've not been to the Kennedy Space Center, I know a lot. I don't talk about it too much on the show because it's not into what we normally talk about. But when I go to the space, I mean, I know so much about it. I mean, they have this thing. It's really cool. They have the mission control. It's like a ride, but they have the real mission control from the Apollo and shuttle missions, right?
Really?
And it works. And you go into this room and you sit there. You're sitting in mission control, and it goes through a whole launch. And it's the real mission control. The Smithsonian people came down and refurbished it. So you're in the original mission control from the Apollo and the shuttle era, and they reenact a launch of the moon landing, and the whole room shakes. And behind you,
no kidding,
they have the windows from the launch place, and you can see the launch, and it'll blow your mind. If you've never been, you got to go.
I have a friend who used to be the CNN guy for the Apollo programs and that.
Oh my gosh,
and he
he must
told
be
me
old.
meeting the astronauts, terrific guys though. They,
CNN wasn't around during Apollo. CNN was not around during Apollo.
Ah, okay.
Apollo ended in 72.
He was like, wow. I tell you, it would be nice to talk to an astronaut in person.
Oh, I've met a lot of astronauts, including Apollo astronauts. But you know, the thing about this is, I really think they're not covering it because it's a pro-American story.
Unbelievable.
That's the only thing I can think of.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. How petty is the legacy media in this country?
You definitely you should go to Kennedy Space Center. It will blow your mind. I'm not kidding.
I think it will.
Years ago, they didn't have all this stuff, but now they do. And when you go in that room with the space shuttle hanging, it'll freak you out.
Oh my God!
You get to go up to the RVs that the astronauts took to the launch pad. Everything.
Really?
You get to go right up to the.
Oh my gosh.
You get to go up to the space capsules that they used.
Wow.
The real ones. You know, they're all on display.
Do you have to book a ticket or something?
I got a ticket, but I didn't make a reservation. Is what you mean? I don't. Okay. I check. I haven't been in about 2 years,
right.
3 years, 2 or 3 years.
Wow.
And it's really super cool. I mean, I love it. And everybody should go. One
of the benefits of living in Florida. Absolutely.
It is better than Disney World, and that's not an exaggeration.
I was just going to say that, Brian. I was just going to say that. And this is the real thing.
You go in one room and they have one of the Saturn V rockets from the moon landing on display. Whoa. And you get to walk underneath it. It's bigger than you ever would imagine. It'll blow your mind.
I heard it's huge.
Oh yeah.
Wow.
It is. And they also have the original mission control from the Mercury program. Right. From Alan Shepard and John Glenn, and they got that on. You get to go right into the original mission control from John Glenn and Alan Shepard. Man. It really, it's amazing.
Well, we grew up with this stuff down here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I mean, the first John Glenn and all these guys. I mean, the whole space program, and
that's right.
And that would be great to go to. I'd like to have to do that sometime.
Oh yeah, they've got. I mean, I could go on all day, but you just go. You'll go and you'll see what I mean. It'll blow you. I haven't even begun to spoil it. It'll blow you away. All right, appreciate the call. All right, you take care.
Okay, bro.
I want to tell you guys about Jupiter Joe Thomas. All these things we talk about with annuities. There's so many different types of annuities that do different things. The income bonus. There's one. This one here is amazing to me. One of the annuities, and Jupiter Joe Thomas will tell you the details of this, there's a medical income doubler. So what that means is that, if you have a medical condition, your monthly income gets doubled. So like say, just so I can easily do the math, if you're getting $2,000 a month, it's $4,000 a month. Isn't that something? The annuities are absolutely just an incredible thing. And remember, your money's never at risk. Give Joe Thomas a call. It's a no-charge consultation. You can take advantage of that no-charge consultation wherever you're located. If you're local, you can do it in his office in Jupiter, but you can also have that consultation over the phone or through Zoom. Here's his number, 561-743-0999. 561-743-0999. And online, jupiterjoe.com. Back after this. Hello?
Hello?
Hey, it's Brian. Okay, we have 30 seconds.
Okay.
All right,
good.
stand by. All right, and it's time to check in with William Youngerman from the offices of William Youngerman Incorporated with our morning gold and precious metals report. How the metals looking on this Thursday, William Youngerman?
Oh, Brian, the excitement continues for the precious metals with no end in sight. We saw gold yesterday trade in a range of $5,157 on the low, all the way up to $5,420, and closing out the day at $5,414 near the tops. That was up $234.40 on yesterday's close. Did you get $234 gain on gold?
I almost passed out.
Silver up $4.47 yesterday, sitting at $116.55. Platinum gaining $57 at $2,704, and palladium up $134 at $2,044. Well, it didn't end with that, because overnight we saw gold trade in a range of $5,417 on the low, all the way up to, get this new number, $5,596 on the high. Basically $5,600 for gold. Right now, gold up $113 at $5,527 the ounce. Silver up $2.75 after hitting a high this morning of $120.56. Right now at $119.30, up $2.75. Platinum up $86 at $2,790, and palladium up $28 at $2,072. So welcome to $5,500 gold and basically $120 silver.
I'm in shock. I mean, I don't even know what to say other than give out your number.
Yeah.
I mean, that's when people are coming in. Is there anything in particular people are looking for with the gold and the silver? Or are they just getting what random? What are people wanting when they're coming in?
Well, they're buying just about everything that, you know, they can pick and choose because we've got it all in stock. But it's just been a lot of just whatever's the cheapest premium. And one of the things we still have at a very big savings, if people are looking to add silver to their positions, are bags of 90% silver, dimes, quarters, and half dollars. We're selling these right now to our Steve Kane listeners at $10 back per ounce of the price of silver. So silver being about $120, you would only be paying $110 an ounce for your 90% pre-64 or pre-65 silver coins. One of the best buys we've got on silver right now.
You know, so these are one of my favorite things we talk about, because what you get such a good deal. You're getting silver for less than the price of silver, and these are silver. They're 90% silver coins, and that's amazing. Listen, William Youngerman opens up at 10 a.m. If you can stop in, please do. He's located in Boca at 150 East Palmetto Park Road in Boca, on the first floor of the Bank of America building, just east of US 1 Federal Highway on the south side of Palmetto Park Road, over by Meisner. But you can also do your transactions over the phone and through the mail, toll-free, 1-800-327-5010. 1-800-327-5010. And online, you can find his phone number and address, williamyoungerman.com. All right, William Youngerman, we'll finish out the week tomorrow.
Okay, have a great day. Thank
All
you.
right, take care. I'm going to cut in to the Tom Homan press conference. This is live. Mm-hmm. Mm. I didn't get the real number. Good. See, this is really amazing. This is Tom Homan, this live press conference of what's going on in Minneapolis and Minnesota. And you can tell what's going on here. You know, one of President Trump's greatest skill sets is his ability with media messaging. And what he's doing here is getting control of the message. You know, the left, you know, the president's been very busy doing some very big things. You know, Venezuela, Greenland, Davos, all this. And what's happened is the left, the anti-American, hate America first crowd, the anti-ICE crowd, the Democrats have gotten control of the messaging about what's going on with the deportations, in particular in Minnesota. And Tom Homan's getting control again, you can tell. Oh, we know what his opinion is. Mm-hmm. Mm. Yeah, I mean, he's really in charge. By the way, does he look like he's lost weight to you? You guys watch him on television? He has lost a lot of weight, Tom Homan. Well, he's been busy and active for the last year. I want to take a moment to talk about Coastal Weight Loss Secret. Guys, this is the year that you are going to keep that New Year's resolution and lose the weight and keep it off. It's so easy. I did it. And not only did I lose the weight, I've kept it off. I've kept it off. And keeping it off has been without effort because there's no big lifestyle changes with Coastal Weight Loss Secret. There's no shots, no injections, no pills. You can eat foods you normally eat. You don't starve yourself, and there's none of that heavy exercise needed. In fact, I did 0 exercise, and I never felt hungry either, and still don't today. Give Coastal Weight Loss Secret a call and schedule your no-charge consultation. 561-247-6300. 561-247-6300. And online, coastalweightlasssecret.com. All right, going to go back to Tom Homan. It's a live press conference. Okay, and that's the end of it. And you know, it really you can tell with Tom Homan here. We just got the tail end there. This is going to be over, and it's going to be over fast in Minnesota, and the country can get back to normal. This is a major defeat for the Democrats. You know, I just got a news alert just a minute ago that Schumer's working with the Republicans to avoid a government shutdown. You know, I shared some polls earlier this week on the program. The president, with what he's doing, has an over 50% approval rating in the New York Times, CBS, and ABC polls, all Trump-hating organizations, and he has well over 50% support for what he's doing in those liberal polls. In one New York Times poll, his support's over 60%. And, you know, Schumer and the Democrats, who thought that they had the public on their side and they were going to shut down the government and they were going to make a big issue and they were going to make a stand in the Confederate state of Minnesota, well, they've been schooled. And you know what? They're not. And they're realizing this. That President Trump not only has drained the swamp, he's replaced the Republican establishment, never Trumpers, with MAGA people at every level of the Republican Party, pretty much. And he's defeated the Democrat Party to a degree that no one ever imagined. They're barely a political party anymore. I don't even know if they really officially qualify as a national party. They're really a third-party strength at best. The Libertarians and the Green Party may have more people around the country than the Democrats do at this point. And I'm not kidding. The Democrat Party is fading away, and that's a good thing because nothing good has ever come out of the Democrat Party. Nothing. They've always been a poison in this country, undermining anything that's awesome and great about the country. And he's defeated them. You know, I saw a story this week about Radcliffe, the CIA director, and the CIA has been doing great work in Venezuela with Trump and Rubio. And I was reading an article earlier this week that Radcliffe has done major reforms in swamp draining at the CIA. It looks like, to a large extent, that President Trump has gotten control of the deep state, or at least the CIA wing of it. A lot of things have happened in this last year. This has been one of the most productive years in U.S. history. And we all should be very proud of the work, you know, President Trump has done. You know, making America great again means a lot of different things, but one of it is draining the swamp. And President Trump has done so much swamp draining this year in his second and non-consecutive term, much more than people realize. And that's something. The things that President Trump has done are things that you would have thought would have been impossible. Remember the caller earlier in the show. Name one great thing President Trump's done. I talked about Roe v. Wade. Republicans my whole life talked about overturning Roe v. Wade. None of them made a move to do it. President Trump did it, right? Shut down the border. They all, can't be done, can't be done. We need a path to citizenship. He shut down the border. Oh, you know, the drugs will stop coming in when people stop using them. Drug importation of illegal drugs from the cartels is down 97, 98%. In this country. Donald Trump did all these things that President Trump has done, people thought were impossible to do, so much so they didn't even try, and he did it, and he did all of it. It's amazing. And we're living through it. And that's what makes him the greatest president, without doubt, in our lifetime, and maybe in the history of our country. And people say, well, what about Lincoln? Lincoln became president, the country went to war, and 1 million Americans died. He accomplished great things, but 1 million Americans died doing it, right? President Trump's doing all these great things, and we've had, sadly, 2 Americans die, but not 1 million. All right, guys, tomorrow is Friday. That means Open MAGA Mic Friday, open phones. The show prep is up to you all on Friday. I'm Brian. It's the Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest-running radio show. See you tomorrow morning at 6 a.m. Yeah, I mean, this is absolutely spectacular. I wanted to play a little bit of this. We're clear on the radio now. This is, no, hold on. That's not the clip I wanted to play. Hold on. Where is that clip? I can't find the clip I wanted to play, but I'll play it another day. If you're new to the program, make sure that you subscribe. All right, guys? This is where MAGA comes to talk. And again, if you could take the link to the program and share on your socials, that helps a lot. Invite your friends and followers on social media to check the program out. And please like the video as well. All those things help spread the word about this channel. My name's Brian. This is where MAGA comes to talk. I'll see you